This is Tori with your weather report, brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life. It is currently 37 degrees in Seattle right now. It's going to be a high of 47 today and a low of 42 with a 30% chance of rain. Mr. Rogers passed along friendship, hoping we would too. Friendship, pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com. Now to Danny and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. Musicals, baby. All right, let me see if I'm going to get this right. It is 5:47. I'm Danny Bonaducci. This is KZOK. Good morning. Is that it?
Good morning. Who are you?
No, is that how that goes?
Yeah, exactly.
For some reason, well, there was a decent-sized break. We were off for like 10 days or something crazy. Right. And I'm old and I used to take drugs, so give me a second on this. But that's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
So.
All right, cool.
Although I thought you were going to sing the whole show today, and I was kind of excited about that.
I probably could, by the way, word for word, do Jesus Christ Superstar.
Really?
Yeah. And I could do all the apostles would be bitching.
Nice. I almost asked for an example, but I realized that's probably not a good idea.
Prove to me that you're no fool and walk across my swimming pool.
Oh,
that's
like
Herod.
that.
Thank you very much. Jesus. That's the Philistine.
He's got kind of a short part.
Yeah, that's actually kind of what he does. Another guy talks like this. You know that you're such a bad dude. That guy, these guys are fun.
Is it bad that I've never seen the show?
Yeah.
I've never seen it either.
Really?
Maybe once.
Then
when I
it's
was in
definitely
6th grade.
bad.
Culture, part of you too. Anybody else but you two guys?
Wait, I get that one in Joseph and the Technicolor Dream.
One has Donny Osmond in it and one is a real thing.
I remember seeing one of them as like a school field trip in 6th grade or something. Which one?
Could have been either, but no, not Jesus Christ Superstar as a little
okay.
child. No.
Okay.
Just Mary Magdalene's shenanigans alone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I had a weird childhood.
What that girl will do for a shekel. She will not do that. Let's see. So, I will tell you this. So I start with what's the buzz because man, I don't usually, when I say I feel like an ass, it's okay. I probably did something. I can recover. I'm a grown-up, whatever. But sometimes you just couldn't feel more stupid. And yesterday I had one of them. I blame Sarah for it, by the way. We're sitting here in these brand new iHeartRadio studios.
Yeah.
And I say casually to Paul, minding my own business, he's the producer, he cares about the kind of stuff. I say, hey, man, I hear a buzz in my headphones every now and again.
Yeah.
Do you hear a buzz in my headphones every now and again? Yeah, everybody hears a buzz in your headphones, Bob. Thank you very much. So now I'd like to complain a little bit to my friends and coworkers, but there's engineers everywhere because these are new studios. There's hundreds of disc jockeys, which, by the way, we'll discuss that at some future date. What it's like, it's a gaggle of disc jockeys.
Yeah.
So I'm whining and complaining because I hear a buzz. Not to, the show will go on and stuff like that, but it's just a buzz in my headphones that you two don't hear, and it's kind of bugging me. What the hell? Sarah grabs two said engineers and says, oh, Greg, come in here. Danny Bonaducci, here's a buzz that everybody else doesn't hear.
My
Do
voice
a bunch
has
of stuff. Well,
no, that's exactly what it
that's
sounded
exactly
like.
what you said. I don't know if your headphones work. Which will come up. So these two engineer dudes, they come in, they're standing on both sides of me with big black Sony headphones, probably $300 each or so, engineer headphones.
Yeah.
And they're telling me, I don't hear it, I don't hear it, I don't hear it. And they say, maybe it's your headphones. I say, no, man, I've been wearing these headphones for a really long time. No, it's your headphones. No, it's not, engineer. You're wrong. Everything about you is wrong.
No, but you were wearing like children's Iron Man headphones or
That would be the punchline right there, mister. I'm standing there between two engineers, straight out of engineer school, and I am wearing, I believe, Minnie Mouse headphones.
Yeah.
And I'm demanding it's not my head. I look and I say, even if it is not my headphones, it's my headphones.
Yeah.
They kept trying to tell you, and they're not laughing.
They're still wrong.
It's out of phase.
That's what they said.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's
How do
out
I?
of phase.
You know what? Captain Kirk has a good phaser. Aside from him, it's not a real word. It's just a thing engineers say. They'll never know this is not a real thing.
So did they decide that it was an actual piece of equipment that was out of phase, or just that your Minnie Mouse headphones were
I
out of
put on
phase?
my Hello Kitty headphones.
Yeah.
And by the way, for anybody out there, totally not kidding, and I have more to come. They said it's your headphones. You watch, change your headphones. And I said, well, all right, I will. I changed my headphones. I put in the Hello Kitty or the Minions or whatever it was, and I put them in. And I go, oh, you're right. It's totally fixed. Go away now.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't really fixed. I just didn't want engineers wearing engineer headphones to tell me it was my $20 headphones.
Wait, so it's not fixed?
No, don't you hear it?
No.
Oh,
Do your toes tingle?
I smell toast.
Yeah, that's gotta be it.
I hear a buzz, but I'm pretty hungover, so I
Right.
think that might
Yeah,
have
you
something to do
feel
with
a
it.
buzz.
Yeah, you feel
That's
a
a little
buzz. That's a
different.
different thing. So, this place, our studios are gigantic, and it's neat and it's fun. We have good, clear, shot at one another like that. It's very nice. Derek
shouldn't
and
be
Joy
taking shots
Have
at
their
one
own sponsor. Their own little studio there. It's very cool. But the place is it's too big. I had to pre-cook soup this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't mean to be indelicate, but I have never used the bathroom here because I don't know where they keep it, and I'm afraid every time. And everybody's been forthcoming with where it is. It's down there. Turn and tell me if I'm kidding at any time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go out the door, turn right, down the hall, turn left, down another hall, another left, go forward, take a right, and it's the end of that short hallway.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's pretty much right.
We'll
on.
never go in there. Like, how long is Black Dog going to be until you got to go? It's Bonaducci's either in the bathroom or looking for the bathroom.
Well, we need to start playing Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. If we don't, well, we should. And so the other thing is I spent a great deal of this morning pre-cooking soup.
Because you can't make it to the kitchen, because that's to the right, to the left, around the corner to the left, and then a quick right and a quick left.
Right.
And there's
Well,
stairs, I think, at some point.
Right. It's all a huge hassle. So this morning I spent 4 minutes maybe pre-cooking soup. So
And it's in a warmy container?
I don't know where the hell we got this. I got a cup here. It looks exactly like the Salvation Army kettle.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
for
Got
one
a
of our
lid on it,
listeners.
clamps down. It's got, see this little red button on top of my cup? Listen.
Oh,
Oh.
That was me. Hang on. No, that lets steam out. And so this, I don't know where we got it, but it's bitching.
yeah, it's
So I
one of our
pre-cooked
listeners
it.
gave that to you. I can't remember what her name was.
Anya.
Yeah,
No.
that was it. It was Anya.
Was it Anya?
I don't know anybody named Anya, but let's go with that.
You do. You've met Anya.
Really?
Oh, it was Anya. Oh, it's definitely Anya.
You've met Anya.
Oh,
How do you
yeah.
forget a girl whose name is on you? She showed up at the Phil Bivens thing, toy drive,
Oh, cool.
and brought stuff. And so I'm just going to go until somebody calls in and go, hey, I gave you the Goodwill kettle. I'm going to go as Anya's doing.
the nice soup warmer.
So I'm shocked to find something out.
What's that?
My wife is a baby. She makes me look like the rock of Gibraltar. Like everything in life, she'll do it. She'll take care of it. Whatever it is, I'll do the laundry. I'll cook the food. I'll have your mother put down. Whatever it is, she what? Oh yeah, it's a decision we made. Anyway, so
Okay.
but now she gets a touch of flu or whatever it is, bronchitis or a cold. I don't know. But she goes to Zoom care. It's not enough. A day later, she's taking all the medicine. It's not enough, man. I got to go to the emergency hospital. Go to the
Really?
emergency hospital. Yeah. Here's the thing, because they sent me to the emergency hospital. You have to get an x-ray to show you don't have pneumonia. They called up and they said, no, your x-ray is unremarkable. And
Nothing about you that's unremarkable.
Exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I said, take another look and you'll see that it's probably remarkable. And they don't laugh. I don't know if it's something about being in the medical profession that you lose your sense of humor, but they did not have a single chuckle. But they said, okay, you don't have pneumonia. And I never thought about it again. She's reading the fine print of her x-ray like it's some kind, like they're tricking her so she won't know that whatever she has, she's going to pass in like 3 days. She thinks it's some kind of conspiracy. But it's so weird to have her being like, can I have a bowl of that? And will you give me a couple? That's what she's asking for.
Because normally that's you.
It's still me, and she's taking my job.
A 48-year-old Auburn man was shot in the torso and died yesterday near a gas station, according to the police. The suspect fled on foot but was later captured. Officers and medics responded to the scene on South 212th Street. This was just after 9 a.m. yesterday. They'd got reports of shots fired. The victim was found in a parking lot near the Shell gas station. They tried to revive the man, but he was pronounced dead at the hospital. Police say the victim was at the scene for a drug transaction.
You know, not to make light of in any way, shape, or form. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy for this person's family. But who shoots another guy at 9?
In the morning?
Yeah. Don't you think that there's almost hours of operation?
I guess
It seems early.
if it's a drug deal, I mean, you
9?
get to, what's that? You never bought drugs in the morning?
100 times, but not at 9. I don't think at 9. I don't think between 9 and 11. I think there's
Seriously?
a freeze. Yeah. Yeah.
Like at 8:45, that's the
your
cutoff.
No, and cops, I didn't just make this up. Cops said on whatever television show, if you want to catch a drug dealer at home, break his door down at blank. But it wasn't. Maybe it was 9 because he shouldn't be able to deal it.
I've never heard of hours of operations for drug dealers.
I mean, I guess you got to have a lunch break.
Yeah.
How do you think they're going to stock their 401k plan?
Right?
Well, and to be honest, who knows more about this, Paul, you and I?
No, that'd be Danny.
Or Danny.
Danny for sure.
Yeah.
Why is this conversation having to do with everything else in the world? I know more.
Yeah.
Islander Middle School on Mercer Island had to be evacuated after receiving a bomb threat. All students at the school were reportedly safe, and parents were asked to pick them up. They were told they had to bring photo ID in order to pick up their children. The Mercer Island School District had been plagued by threats last year, as in 2017, and unfortunately those have continued in this new year. Nearly 3,000 U.S. flights have been canceled today as a powerful storm hits the Northeast, packing heavy snow, gusty winds, and the coldest air of the season. U.S. airlines have canceled more than 2,800 flights in and out of the United States. Delays are about 150 other flights, and those include here in SeaTac. Now, they said so far it looks like about 20 flights have been canceled out of SeaTac, but if you're going anywhere from Florida to Maine, you're probably not going to get there.
No, it's all, what did you call it? Some kind of bomb, a weather bomb?
It's they have like 3 different names for it, but they all end in bomb.
Yeah, and I'd never heard it before. Now I've heard it 50 times since you told me yesterday. By the way, I'd like you to point out, back when I was a youngster, the weather dude always had a funny name. They always had a weather guy that had a funny name, and I think Gusty Winds would be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
All right, coming next is Gusty Winds. Oh, we got a cold front.
What about this bomb name? The weather bomb.
Well, that's a terrorist. He goes near the Unabomber. It's not too fun at all.
I'm actually really surprised that they used the word bomb.
Yeah, me too.
In any
Yeah.
of it.
Bomb Cyclone is one of the ones that they're going with the
Totally
most.
a wrestler.
Yeah.
It's Bomb Cyclone. Snap into a Slim Jim.
And it's not. There are no cyclones, right? Like no one's facing a like Florida's not going to get wiped out by a cyclone. Why is it a bomb cyclone?
Yeah, it's confusing because cyclones are only in the Pacific, and this
Right.
is generating in the Atlantic, so I don't know why they're calling it a
I
cyclone.
think originally they started calling it a Cyclops, and that confused everybody.
The crazy thing is it's up and down the entire eastern seaboard and even some inland as well, but they're saying after this horrendous snowstorm, which is feet of snow, they're getting their coldest temperatures of the year.
Yeah, everything's going to ice over.
Well, what did Danny tell us? It was
That drug dealers take a couple hours off to rest and recuperate.
There's a low time in drug dealing.
3 degrees in Savannah, I think is what you told, or Charleston.
It's Savannah. It is so cold, 3 degrees. When I did that Dr. Oz show, it was 2. And New Yorkers who are tough, and that happens there every now and again, paralyzed.
Yep.
Paralyzed.
And it's going to be worse. They said in New York and Boston, Washington, D.C., it's going to be colder than Mars.
That's a convenient stat.
Because you remember last time you guys were on Mars.
I heard
I thought they meant Bruno. Well, you know what? He seems all right with me.
I heard a city official from either Boston or New York talking about how difficult it's going to be to drive, not just because the roadways are icy, but because the fuel lines start to freeze in your car. Your gas congeals, which I had no idea that gasoline could congeal.
I don't know that I ever considered it either way, but if I thought about it, I'd go, no, you can't. It's like alcohol.
Well, can't complain about the Seattle weather because it's going to be downright balmy.
I can totally complain about Seattle weather. Watch me go.
A terrible story making news. Joshua Boyle, the Canadian man who was held captive in Afghanistan for 5 years with his wife.
Yeah.
He made news just a few months ago when
he popped up on the radar, right? Boyle popped up on the radar. Hey, they can't all be gold.
just a few.
Yeah, every now and again.
So this is the man who was rescued just a few months ago after being held captive in Afghanistan. He described the horrible conditions. He and his wife had many children born in captivity.
Oh, yeah. I didn't like anything about this story. I thought it was all covered in hair.
Well, you wonder, why were they there? They traveled around a lot of really, really dangerous
They were captured
regions.
hiking the border of Afghanistan. Who does that?
Yeah, I travel to some weird places. I'm not going there. Well, this man, the happy part of the story was he and his wife were rescued. Their kids, they met with the handsome Justin Trudeau in Canada, and everyone said, welcome home. They are now living in Canada. Only now we find out he's full-on creepy pants. He has been arrested. He's 34 years old, and he is being charged with sexual assault, threats, public mischief, assault, and a lot of this involves underage people. They're trying to figure out exactly who the victims are. They haven't obviously revealed any names or anything, but this man has been arrested and is facing 15 charges.
Wow.
And there's no, we don't know, is this a result of his captivity or was he already a creep?
I'm going to go he's already creep. Why are you taking, wasn't she pregnant when they took the walk on the Afghanistan border?
I can't keep track of it, to be honest with you, because she had several children that I don't think he was the father of. And
yeah, no, there was all sorts of weird, bad stuff with that story.
He'll be back in court next week. A New York lottery player ended up winning a scratch-off ticket she had not intended to buy. Oksana Zaharev, she was in New Jersey. She asked the clerk for a $1 scratch ticket. She had gone to the convenience store, felt like, all right, can I have the $1? Well, the clerk accidentally gave her the $10. She felt bad because once you pull the ticket, it's gone. So this guy would have been on the hook for the money. She's like, okay, I'll take it. Gave him the $10, even though she didn't want to spend that much. She won $5 million.
Pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she said, the cool thing is I'm going to take my family to the Bahamas, and now my kids can go to college without student loans.
Is she giving the clerk a cut?
They get one anyway, don't they, even for scratches?
So that comes and goes, and depending on your state. I was surprised, but I thought automatically they got 10% or something crazy.
But just to like the store, not to the employee, right?
No, when I saw it, when I was following it, it was a certain cut to the store, which would then be like 10% of them, then 1% of the person who sold it or some such thing. Cool. But now there's some states where the store doesn't get anything.
Well, then if hers is one of them, she needs to pony it up because that was his mistake that was good for her.
It was only his mistake till she paid for it.
Yeah.
So she did wind up, paying the $10 you're saying.
But it's still, I would, wouldn't you? If I won $5 million under any circumstances where I gave the guy the money and he gave me the ticket I scratched, I'd give him $50,000 right then and there, I think.
That's a lot of money.
$5 million? You can give a guy, that's 1%, isn't it? I don't know how to do that. But.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
and at least since none of us have actually won that kind of money, we can at least say we would do it.
They'll ask for tapes of this when you win some. Then the guy at the Circle K Mart's going to demand it.
See, I told you we're nice. We're giving away it's money for nothing on KZOK.
Nice.
Well said. Smooth butter.
Smooth butter.
I'm not giving it away. You don't have the money in your pocket, right?
No, I do not.
Where can people find out more info?
KZOK.com.
Thank you. What do we know about dogs? Dogs
They're
are
bad drivers.
Yes. They're man's best friend. But what's the real motivator for most dogs?
Food.
A woman was driving her car. The dog's in the back seat. She's eating an Egg McMuffin.
The dog is?
The lady driving the car.
In the back seat?
The dog's in the back seat.
I'm confused.
She's in the front seat.
Right.
She's having her Egg McMuffin. Who doesn't like an Egg McMuffin? Well, the dog wanted that Egg McMuffin, so he
Sure.
jumped in the front seat, and she crashed her car into a building.
Told you they were bad drivers, and I was just kidding.
There was a man who was also inside eating an Egg McMuffin in the front seat. So, lady driver, man in the passenger seat, dog in the back. Dog's like, I want that Egg McMuffin.
Right.
Jumps in the front seat. Everybody's crashed. Everybody's going to be okay. No word on who got to finish the Egg McMuffin.
Nobody got to finish McMuffin. They all had to rush off to the hospital, I would imagine.
Yeah.
No, the dog. The dog doesn't care what else is happening in life.
And he'll finish that.
Yeah,
Egg
he's going to
McMuffin,
finish the
yeah.
McMuffin.
We've talked a lot about the cold, really, really cold conditions up and down the East Coast.
Yeah.
There is a very unlikely victim of this. Clearly, people who are living rough, living on the streets, they need to get into shelters. But some unlikely deaths have occurred as a result of these crazy cold conditions. Sharks.
Sharks?
Sharks have died off the coast of Cape Cod because the water temperature has gotten way too cold and even they have frozen to death.
That's crazy.
Don't tell Donald Trump. He's going to be tweeting about global warming. There's no such thing as global warming. Look at all the sharks dying.
Frozen sharks.
Well, I don't know if you guys saw his tweet a couple of days ago when the real cold temperatures went in. He said, oh, we could use a little of that global warming right now.
Right?
Ha ha ha.
Is that an actual impression of
that how
him
he
laughing?
said
Because
it?
it wasn't terrible. Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
So funny. I'm Donald Trump.
But that's like a what do they call those things? A rookie mistake that people make all the time when it's cold and it's snowing and terrible things. See, no global like the super whammy cold is actually a response to global warming, as I understand it.
Well, and a lot of people just say it's climate change. Obviously, something pretty crazy is going on up and down the
Right.
East Coast right now. If it's colder than Mars.
Right, but what I'm saying is the thing you think, see, it can't be happening because it's so cold out. It's so cold out because the thing is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While chocolate prices seem to have fallen in recent years, experts say you can expect a massive price hike by the year 2050 unless scientists can figure something out because of climate change. They are expecting problems with cacao.
Cacao.
They're concerned that chocolate could go extinct. And it's not like your Hershey bar, it's cacao. So the plant that makes the yummy chocolate is starting to die off.
Right.
And they're really concerned 50% of the world's chocolate supply is going to start seeing a huge reduction, and that they are going to try and figure out how they can genetically modify it to
And
last.
there's a real thing that says, oh man, if we don't learn how to make chocolate in the next 32 years, there's going to be a shortage. I think we're going to make, chocolate.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, they'll have no problem. I'm shocked that they haven't already
Can't
had
you use a
lab-created
3D
chocolate.
printer to print a pancreas?
Yeah.
If I can make a pancreas, I can make chocolate.
Yeah, I think you have to put in the cacao, though, to 3D
Exactly.
print the chocolate.
Well, I'm not sure that was the solution, but I'm telling you that we're not going to run out of chocolate if we, as Americans, want chocolate.
Right.
Well, white chocolate doesn't have cacao. White
It
chocolate,
doesn't?
that stuff's garbage.
No, white
Hey,
chocolate's
wrong
awesome.
all the way around
yeah.
on everything you said.
Yeah. I'm with Danny on that one.
I think white chocolate's weird. It doesn't really melt right.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
It's just sugar and corn syrup.
So if
As
the
opposed
solution
to-
is that we don't have chocolate anymore, but we have all the white chocolate we could possibly eat.
Why
then
is
I'm
it called
fine.
white chocolate if it's not has no chocolate in
right.
it?
What do you want it to call it? White garbage that's like doesn't taste very yummy
No,
and melt right?
we
You
already
saying
had a-
words. I'm not sure what's happening anymore.
We already had a thing called vanilla. Like
Right.
it would just be vanilla. It's white chocolate because it's chocolate. It's just a white version.
Shenanigans.
The yummier white version of chocolate.
Yummier?
But is there chocolate? I'm lost really in real life. Is there chocolate in white chocolate?
Has
No.
to be.
No,
No. It's not made with cacao.
it's not.
No.
Is she telling
Derek?
the truth, Paul?
I don't know.
I don't know. I want her to be lying.
I do see recipes online where you can make chocolate without cacao, but I've never tasted it, so I don't know if it's any good or not.
Well, that's a slogan right there. I've never tasted it, so I don't know if it's good.
It by regulation in the United States has to have at least 20% cocoa butter, which I believe is
Cocoa butter.
I believe is cacao.
That's not cacao.
All right. I think we've beaten this up long enough.
Yeah.
We've all been on an airplane. The plane lands. You're tired. You want to get off. but the people in front of you are taking too long. People walking slow, can't get their bags down from the overhead. Everybody gets crabby, right?
Amy and I paid extra $12.50 each to get on and off the plane in the first boarding. Still crappy seats and everything like that, but we had to get on and off first. Best money I ever spent.
Yeah, because it can be super frustrating. So much so that one man, when the plane landed, he used the emergency exit to jump on the wing and get off the plane.
Don't these guys, I mean, if you don't know enough to buy a ticket, get through airport security, get on a plane, find your actual seat, don't you know that your whole life is going to change the second you pull the emergency chute?
Well, in this case, it just was the door, so it wasn't the slide.
Right, but jump on the wing. Whatever, same thing.
Can't do that.
No.
People at the scene said it was pretty crazy, but a lot of people were frustrated. Yeah, they wanted to get off, but this guy calmly walked past a few people, opened the emergency exit, looked out the wing, grabbed his backpack, jumped on the wing, and walked out.
Did he
What
say
jail is he
anything?
in?
Later, the captain had asked him, "Why did you do this?" And he said, "I'm just tired of waiting. We've been sitting here for 15 minutes. I was ready to get off the plane."
Do you hear yourself? I've been here 15 minutes, so I thought I'd commit felonies.
Danny, you are correct. He is in trouble.
Yeah.
And this happened in Spain, so I'm not sure if they have as quite stiff regulations here. You know, I think here you do jail time. Don't you?
Yeah, I think it's mandatory.
No, it's not like using a gun in the commission of a crime mandatory. You go to jail if you pull the chute.
Yeah, if you mess with an emergency exit on an airplane.
Yeah, I don't think there's mandatory jail. I think you probably should go to jail, but I don't think there's a mandatory jail time on it.
If it's federal, maybe Paul's right, and I don't say that a lot.
No. But if you want to go to jail, you do want to go to a federal prison.
Oh, that's true. They have tennis courts, right?
Play tennis.
Okay.
Putt.
Putt?
Yeah.
Golf.
You can take your putter.
Gotcha.
No, you're not allowed to golf.
Oh, you just putt.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's not the first time. It probably won't be the last time, but a man has reportedly glued his eyes shut after mistaking nail glue for eye drops.
And it wasn't the first time. He's done it before. You think he'd learn his lesson.
Not the first time we've reported on it. He's a 64-year-old man. He realized it pretty instantly, right? If you've ever gotten crazy glue on your fingers, you know right away. He rinsed his eyes under running water, but the pain did not subside. The glue is the kind used to stick on fake nails.
Right.
And it was his wife's. Not sure why they were even near each other, but he thought it was his eye drops. A lot of people have been asking for safety caps, the kinds that are on bleach or even prescription drugs, to be put on.
They should put it like a little sticker that says, if you're an idiot, I don't really care.
There were 36 recorded cases last year of nail adhesive being used instead of eye drops. So a lot of
Idiot.
You know, I would say on that, though, if you're the kind of guy that puts crazy glue in your eyeballs, that you've seen everything you need to.
Yeah, I think
There's
you're
nothing
right.
else you really need to see. It hasn't served you so far.
It's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida's Story of the Day.
Yay!
A Florida man has been accused of misusing 911, the emergency phone system, after calling 911 to complain about his restaurant experience. Nelson Agosto was eating at Krabby's Seafood Shack. He called 911 and
The
said,
Krabby Shack, isn't that where SpongeBob SquarePants eats?
Yeah, I think so.
And works as a fry cook?
"Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?"
SpongeBob SquarePants.
He said he went to the restaurant.
Did she expect us not to answer that?
No, I think she just enjoys making us do stupid things.
All right.
I actually couldn't think of the next line.
I couldn't remember his name. I almost just said Patrick.
Oh, yeah. That's
Patrick
funny.
the Starfish.
Does he live there too? In a
Where?
pineapple under the sea?
No, he lives in a coconut shell, I think.
Under the sea, though.
Yeah, definitely on the sea.
Squidward lives in the coconut. Patrick lives. Oh no, you're right.
No,
it is
I'm
Patrick.
right.
I'm sorry.
Don't-
it is Patrick.
What?
Well, this guy went into
Remember
Krabby's,
when his headphones didn't
Yeah.
work? I like that better.
Krabby's Seafood Shack. He went in there and ordered some clams. All he wanted was some clams. I need some clams. Give me some clams. They shut up with the clams, and he said, "These are nothing but shell. These are tiny. These are the smallest clams ever. I'm calling 911. This is a gross miscarriage of justice." Well, 911 said, "This is not an emergency,
Right.
and we can't help you." He called again and said, "Come on, man. These clams are way too small." Well, finally, they did show up to help him out by handing him a ticket for misuse of 911.
Oh, good. They should. I called 911. Me and my friend Chris Dewin. We went somewhere and didn't have enough money to pay for something. And I'm very fresh off being the guy on TV. They had to know who I was. This is 1975 or 6. Went to, I think it was Dupar's restaurant, and we didn't have enough money to pay for our bill. We said, "Hey, we'll go and come back." And they said, "Nope, call your moms or whatever you have to do." And I said, "No." And then I called 911 and said, "I'm being held captive," and they showed up.
And who got in trouble? Them or you?
But not a ton, because they believed that I believed this was a thing. Because you know me, I was drooling. How dare you?
Oh, Florida.
Florida.
When we come back, a pop superstar has some big plans for Seattle. A piece of Beatles history could be yours. We've had lots of speculation this week about the future kicker for the Seahawks. Well, something pretty huge happened yesterday, and we'll tell you about it next in sports.
This traffic report is brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council. In Seattle on I-5 southbound as you approach Columbian Way, we do have an overturned vehicle. Right now, only the right lane is able to get through. You may want to use an alternate route like MLK, Highway 99, or even Airport Way. If you get caught drinking and driving, your social life stops, but your friends' social lives won't. Buy late curfew, buy parties with friends, buy freedom. Go to ultimatepartyfoul.org to make sure you don't get left behind. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Stand Up to Cancer. It is currently 38 degrees in Seattle right now. It's going to be a high of 47 today and a low of 42 with scattered showers this afternoon. Stand Up to Cancer is a groundbreaking initiative created to accelerate innovative cancer research that will get new therapies to patients quickly and save lives now. Visit standuptocancer.org. Now back to Danny and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
Starting with some music news. Officials at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery have asked fans to stop filming at the grave of late Soundgarden frontman Chris Cornell. The cemetery has a strict no filming policy in place to, quote, protect the privacy of all the families who have entrusted us to the care of their loved ones, end quote. Now, a lot of people...
Is taking a snapshot the same as filming?
I don't think so. I think
if it is, then I'm guilty, and if it's
Yes.
not, then cool.
I think you could take a picture.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ramones put statues to themselves. How do you not take photographs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is just video because when you shoot a video, you're more likely to capture other people than just a selfie at the grave or just taking a picture of the grave site. But
I
a lot
don't think you can do the selfie, can you? I mean, a picture of the grave site.
I don't think you can capture other people. They're going to get mad about that for sure.
Yeah. They need to post some more signs of things you can't do.
Now, Danny, when you went there, I remember seeing the pictures, but I don't remember seeing you in them. You didn't selfie at the grave site.
I don't really selfie very much, but Amy would take pictures. I can't imagine I wasn't in them. Maybe I didn't like the way I looked or something.
Because it does seem weird to selfie, like a big smile at a grave site. Seems a little disrespectful.
I mean, I guess if it was like a shot of, not a selfie, but if it was a shot of you just kind of looking down at the gravesite, I could see that. But
If I had to pick, though, if you could have like 6 reactions or something to a dead person, for somebody's grave, and the one when you got to my grave headstone, you took a selfie while smiling, I would think that was cool.
yeah.
Yeah, if you would break down into tears, I think you are so lying or I owe you money.
A 1969 Honda Monkey Trail bike, once owned by John Lennon, will soon be on the market. The Beatle used it between 69 and 71 to scoot around his Tittenhurst Park estate in Surrey, England. The auction house has acquired this bike and will put it up for sale March 4th. The estimate is... Because I know you're probably a little worried, Danny. You're on pins and needles.
Some things are just going to be so far out of my price range the second they happen. I'm going to guess $400,000 is their starting offer.
No, they think it's only going to go for $48,000.
Oh.
For something John Lennon sat on.
Yeah.
You could clone John Lennon from that bicycle seat. And you're only going to give him 48 grand or something?
We can't make chocolate, but we can clone John Lennon from a bicycle seat.
Actually, I think both go hand in hand, really.
There was a bike that belonged to Ringo Starr and was given to his gardener as a thank you gift in 1986.
Yeah.
And that recently sold for, I'm trying to do the math here, that sold for about $52,000.
I remember that was a story of some kind.
I don't know, why would Ringo's sell for more than John's?
Well, because one's sold and one's estimated to sell.
This is a good point. So maybe it is going to go for $400,000, which was your original estimate. Good news for fans of Taylor Swift. She has added dates to her Reputation tour due to overwhelming demand.
You know, I got to tell you, I love me some Taylor Swift. Just to an inappropriate level.
Yeah.
But that whole, look what you made me do. Look what you doing?
like
You
it.
freak show. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Because you used to make me do stuff too, and now I stopped doing that thing that I was doing.
Tori, did you capture that? Because that was pretty awesome.
I did. I'm going to put it right up on KZOK.com.
What?
When you did that, you made
You're
the
doing your
face,
little
you did the
shimmy
dance.
and kind of duck lips a little bit.
Well, Taylor Swift will be expanding her tour, including a date here in Seattle.
Cool.
May 22nd, Taylor Swift, CenturyLink Field.
What? CenturyLink Field.
Yep.
Yeah.
That tiny little girl's going to fill the whole place with action and sound, and I believe she will.
Yeah, she's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. You know what? It's hard. She feels a little tarnished to me.
What do you mean?
I saw a picture of her and my boss touching her. I don't mean to be rude, but have you seen my boss? Please.
Well, there have been lawsuits about that, so let's be clear. He just had his, arm around her.
That's all you have to do these days. She gets mad.
She took somebody to court because he put his hand up her skirt on her buttocks.
Allegedly. I don't know why I'm
She
defending
won.
this guy. I love her.
She did win,
She
yeah.
did win. So won. He's a little bastard.
Hey, don't forget all month long, 16 times a day, you've got a shot to win some big money with the money.
16 times, and what do you get?
$1,000.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
It's the Money for Nothing giveaway on KZOK. Just listen for a new keyword each hour and text it to 200-200 for your chance to win instantly $1,000 of money for nothing every hour on KZOK. If that wasn't clear, just go to KZOK.com and click on the contest tab.
Right.
But our next chance to win is what time?
7:10.
7:10. Look at that.
7:10.
Netflix. We've got a story about Netflix, it seems like, every week because they're continuing their efforts, like Amazon, for world domination.
Yeah.
It's going okay for Netflix. Well, and for Amazon, for that matter. There is a movie called Bright, or I guess it's a limited series, and it starred Will Smith and Joel Edgerton. They have decided to bring it back for a sequel. It was released December 22nd, and they said it did get panned by a lot of people. I don't know if you saw the previews. It was Will Smith is a cop, and his partner is a...
Martin Lawrence.
No.
Bad boys, bad
But
boys.
that was a good movie. I loved that movie. And I even liked the sequel.
No, his partner is an orc, like from Lord of the Rings, a monster.
Like from Mork? From Mork?
No. Orc with a C, not a K.
That changes everything.
Some sort
Like
of
Louis
elfish
C.K.?
character.
No.
No, bad-looking, mean-looking dude.
Yes. Almost looks a little bit like the monster from Goonies, but much scarier.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why people thought this was stupid.
Well, there was either a movie or a TV series in the past that had cops working with aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they're really like different looking in. They don't look like us. Do you remember that?
It was based in Portland, but I don't recall the name of the show.
I can't remember.
And they were
either.
like monsters and aliens working with the police.
Alien Nation.
Alien Nation.
Oh, I'm talking about a totally
You're thinking
different
of
show.
Grimm.
Yes, Grimm.
Yeah. And those were supernatural beings.
Oh, totally different.
Totally different.
Those weren't
Man,
aliens.
Paul likes
Paul.
everything.
Jeez, Paul. According to critics, they said, I loved how bizarre it was. I've been saying training day. A gritty LA cop drama meets Lord of the Rings. They're orcs and fairies, elves, and mean-ass elves. Well, they've decided to bring it back for a sequel. Bright also stars...
Wait, it was already a thing? The clips I'm seeing aren't of future shows with Will Smith and the monster? That happened?
This happened on December 22nd, and I thought it was a
see it.
series, but I think it was just a movie.
Oh.
And
Like on TV, made for TV movie, or it was in
Netflix.
theaters? Oh, Netflix. That's right.
Netflix. So when I saw the trailer for this, I thought it was going to be a limited run series, but then they announced a sequel. So clearly none of us have seen this.
No.
Derek?
No,
No.
I've seen it pop up in my feed as I'm browsing through, but God, it looks so stupid. I just can't bring myself to watch it.
Looks a little stupid.
Well, it wasn't too stupid because they announced a sequel to Bright. No release date yet, but Will Smith getting another
In
movie.
One of the movies that I'm thinking about, I think Mandy Patinkin played the alien cop.
My name is Montoya
I
Montega
think
Banana.
that
You're not my
guy.
father.
I think that
Prepare
guy.
to die.
That's
Yeah.
it, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that guy played an alien monster in the one I'm thinking of.
A TV series?
No,
A movie?
yeah. Pay your money and go sit down.
Wait, I thought that was the bus.
No, that's a. That's pay your money. It'll take you places.
Oh, okay.
Man,
you don't sit
never-
down on the
you
bus. I'm
never
sorry. What was
listen.
I thinking?
Criminal Minds.
I don't know what you're talking
That
about.
was Mandy Patinkin.
Yeah, he's on that
Andy
show.
Patinkin did star in the 1988 series Alien Nation.
Thank you.
So it was Alienation, and they did bring that show back, I believe, for a reboot.
And they called it Grimm.
No. CNN, they had the New Year's special, right? I think, Paul, you said you watched it. Danny, you watched a little bit?
I
was
watched
parts
30
of it.
seconds of it.
Yeah.
I was not. I had big expectations.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like them both. I like both those guys.
All right, yeah.
And the 30 seconds I saw, I'm a hard judge. I found it uncomfortable and awkward. Maybe it'd be better next year, but I couldn't watch it.
Well, you said, what, Paul, that it was What's-Her-Face that threw you?
That was on New Year's Rockin' Eve. Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was what's her face? Her face. It was what's wrong with her face?
Well, it looks like the CNN New Year's Eve special with Anderson Cooper and his new co-host Andy Cohen actually did really well when it comes to the ratings.
Good. So Anderson Cooper can pay for the $3,500 jacket he was wearing. That was all like in the news yesterday.
It was big news because it was so cold in New York, he had to get a special heated outfit
From
to
the
keep him warm.
warm store in Philadelphia. Did you know there was such an animal?
I did not.
And it's like a robot jacket that has all little areas you can touch and it'll get warmer.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, when I give myself a warmer, I don't usually have to push any buttons, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I have areas you can touch that'll get warmer.
Wait, this took a weird turn. The ratings were just fine. A lot of people were concerned
That
with...
doesn't sound like a thrilling thing, though.
Well, let me see here. What
They were concerned that no Kathy Griffith would pull the ratings down?
Yes, because she always has some crazy antic and
Right.
does something that
Yeah.
has people tuning
Which,
in.
by the way, I've never seen that show because just the commercials alone made me cringe so much.
Yeah.
Where she says weird, inappropriate, like sex things towards him, and he giggles like a little girl.
Right.
They still had Don Lemon, who the year before had gotten so drunk that he pierced his own ear.
While slurring all over
Yeah.
the place. Apparently, they did some of that again this year.
Yeah.
But involving marijuana this year.
Was it marijuana?
Yep, there were a
No,
lot
it was
of-
champagne.
There was something called Puff and Pass.
Yeah.
There was a bus party that CNN actually covered and showed the CNN reporter lighting a bong for people on the bus.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
But it looks like the ratings were up 8% over last year. You know,
That's pretty good. That's not bad.
You feel a little bad for your friend Kathy Griffin?
No, I don't really. Kathy's not, she's a bit of her own worst enemy. As people will tell you for me, when I used to get in trouble and stuff, they say, well, Bonaducci brings it on himself. Well, they were right. And now I'll tell you that same thing about Kathy.
Yeah. iHeartRadio is teaming up with Fox Television for a brand new singing competition called The Four Battle for Stardom.
Challenge! Excuse me.
It's debuting tonight at 8 on Q13 Fox, a superstar panel of judges, including Sean, Diddy, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy,
What are we supposed to call him?
Brother
Brother
Love.
Brother
Love.
Love. Yep. Sean Combs is one of the big people there. DJ Khalid, Megan
I
Trainor.
didn't like her, although I hear she's just dumb as a stump.
Oh, yeah.
She's so adorable, though. This should be great. Charlie Walk, who's actually from my hometown.
Oh, really? He's like a record executive?
Big record exec, yep. And it's hosted by Fergie, who everybody loves.
Right.
Because she's a black-eyed pea.
Have you seen promos for the show?
Just a couple. It looks great.
It does look cool, but it's kind of different from the other like American Idol type stuff.
How so?
So they start with 4 winners, basically. They pick the top 4 after they do all these auditions, and then those 4 people fight throughout the season to keep their seat, to stay in the final 4. So that kind of element of it seems kind of cool.
Right
Yeah,
on.
I already don't care that much.
Yeah?
Yeah, it sounds like, hey, get involved in this, and then you have to like do all sorts of heavy lifting just to watch. So, but those things are not my cup of tea. I had a year that I really liked The Voice.
Oh, you were all
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
that.
it's all about The Voice.
Give this one a shot because it looks great. It is on tonight at 8 on Q13
You know,
Fox.
what's his face? P. Diddy. He yells at some point. One girl says, "You look scared to me," and the girl says, "Honey, I ain't scared of nothing." And P. Diddy goes, "Challenge," which I never knew was a real thing.
What
I
is
don't know
it?
that.
It sounds awesome. I want to do
In my
it.
world,
Yeah.
it is a thing that comes from like vaudeville days, and tap dancers would do it.
Really?
And you'd go, tap, 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 challenge! And then the guy would accept it, go, pap, 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 challenge! And it would go
That's
till there was a
fantastic.
winner. Is that right? Did I find anything about challenge in there, Derek? Or were you just looking busy for no good reason at all, you little bastard?
The United Kingdom will celebrate Game of Thrones actors with a new stamp series featuring 10 characters from the acclaimed HBO series. It will have Jon Snow, Daenerys, although she'll be clothed for these
Is that
stamps.
the blonde lady or white-haired lady?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I watched about 10 episodes of that show. It was pretty good. Moves too slow for me. But you know what I like about the Daenerys or whatever her name is?
Daenerys.
Yeah, that one. That I saw in a movie and didn't even know it was her.
Because she's
And it was
not
a
a blonde.
big,
Yeah.
gigantic part. Like
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of acting going on.
Terminator.
No, the one where
Dude's in the wheelchair.
The guy's in the wheelchair, and she's a bubbly, kind of forgetful young lady, and she was very good at it, I thought.
We've got Cersei, Arya, Tyrion, Sansa, Tywin, Ned Stark. Let me look down the list here. Oh no, where's Danny's favorite character? Oh yeah, Tyrion.
Yeah, Tyrion, the little guy.
Phew.
Oh,
So does it
Peter
say
Dinklage.
does it say R.I.P. right on the stamp?
Will you stop
after they
that?
killed him?
You're killing off all the people we love.
not all. It's the dead ones.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. The search for a kicker in Seattle now includes former Jacksonville kicker Jason Myers. He was signed a reserve/future contract with the Seahawks yesterday.
He signed a future contract? What is it?
A
Is
reserve.
it real? Is it paper or is it air?
Do you know the best way to explain it?
I don't.
It means you still have to prove that you're going to do this, but he is going to be a Seahawk, but there are conditions to whether or not we keep him or don't. Like, it's like we've got you, we've reserved you, but you're not obligated to keep that person in the long run. But we like him, we want him, we're going to negotiate with him, we're going to see how he does.
Like a first right of refusal kind of tryout?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That's a nice way of explaining it. So he was the full-time kicker in Jacksonville for 2015, 2016. Making 53 of 64 field goal attempts. He was cut this season after only making 11 of 15. But I'm pretty sure that's still better than...
That is better than Blair Walsh, but I like it better if he makes 14 out of 15.
Yeah, me
Sure.
too.
Seattle,
You got to remember, there's how many guys are trying to stop you? 11?
11, yeah,
Yeah,
at
there's
least.
11 large men. And they're making noises. Just because it's not Mike, they're going, I'll kill your whole family. That's got to throw you.
Yeah.
reports are that Seahawks defensive coordinator Chris Richard will be interviewing for the Colts head coach position, so he could be departing. And rumor has it, Aaron Rodgers has moved on from Olivia Munn. He was spotted on a date with Danica Patrick,
Really?
Oh.
race car driver. Now, she was dating fellow NASCAR star Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 5 years. They just called it quits. Olivia Munn and Aaron Rodgers had dated for 3 years, and now they're reportedly dating. That's the rumor.
All right.
Now Aaron Rodgers gets to have his family back.
This
They
is
all
true.
disowned him over Olivia Munn. For
I
whatever
heard
reason.
that it wasn't really about her.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I watched The Bachelor, man. That's where I get my.
Yeah, that's right. His brother was the
Yeah, it
Bachelor.
was-
His brother
That
was the Bachelor.
terrible. Was he? Did he end up being the Bachelor?
He was on The Bachelorette.
Right.
He was trying to win the love of The Bachelorette.
I love that Derek knows that. He knows more about those shows than we do. But the rumor was that he became estranged from his family because they did not like Olivia Munn. Maybe they will like Danica
But
Patrick.
the other story there was he became a stranger family because they wanted money all the time and season tickets all the time and wearing jerseys and helmets. And
I also heard it was because of that mustache that he was growing.
I heard it because of the mustache she was growing.
This traffic report is brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council. We still have some issues on I-5 southbound as you approach the West Seattle Bridge. There was an overturned vehicle, and currently the 3 left lanes are blocked, the 2 right lanes are open, but that is causing some long delays as you make your way from the Mercer exit all the way down through to the scene of that accident. 1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Well, some people might have a bit of, sadness now that the holidays are over. You're thinking about what you can look forward to. Well, the holidays aren't necessarily over when it comes to getting a deal on a MyPillow. It was the big offer over the holidays. Buy one MyPillow, get one free. And they don't want you to be sad the holidays are over, so they've decided to extend this offer. MyPillow, you will love it. And you love that offer, right? Buy one MyPillow, get one free. The way to get involved with this is to call them at 800-304-4756. 800-304-4756 and use the promo code KZOK. Buy one MyPillow, get one free. Why do you want to do this right now? Well, it's a great offer, but it's the best pillow out there. No tossing and turning, no backaches, no neck aches, just a good night's sleep. That's what you're going to get with MyPillow. It's made in America. It's machine washable, and you will love it. Buy one MyPillow, get one free. Works on the website. Go to mypillow.com. That's mypillow.com, and don't forget the promo code KZOK. Buy one MyPillow, get one free.
Neat. It is 7:02 in the morning, and if you stick around, you're going to get lots of entertainment, possibly money you don't know, but definitely name that battle. That's coming up at 7:20. Play that game, win, and you'll go with me to Battle the Boat number 114 next Friday night at the EQC.
Well, a couple of months ago, Amazon announced they were buying Whole Foods, which was a bit of a surprise to a lot of people because Amazon's known for being an online company, not brick and mortar.
Right. Not as much as their next move. I kind of saw their world domination. What should they do? I didn't think Whole Foods, but when it happened, I went, oh, that. But the Target,
Yeah.
I did not see that one coming.
Well, that's not official. That's a speculative move. Experts believe Amazon will next try to buy Target. And it just is them kind of taking over everything. You want to go to a store and buy something, or you want to go online and buy something, it's going to be Amazon. So we don't know for sure if it's going to happen because Amazon's not commenting, but these analysts all say, oh, yeah, Target's totally going to get bought by Amazon.
Crazy.
And I think about all the different companies out there, and I guess it makes sense for Amazon to buy Target, but that's not what I would buy.
What would you buy?
Tesla.
Oh,
Yeah. That's really
Not a
good.
bad bet.
It's not what I would buy.
But let me say this, though. I don't know that I would want to, like, oust Elon Musk. If I buy Tesla, I want to work with him because I think he's got a good plan.
So you'd let him stick around and
Yes.
be like your second banana?
Yeah, we could be partners.
But Tesla would be kind of nothing without him, so don't
Right.
just buy it. And go,
Exactly.
and you know what? It goes in my shoes. I'm just going to buy it.
Yeah.
No, you got to have Musk.
Yeah,
You get
so I'll keep him.
SpaceX too? Is
Yes.
that part of Tesla?
Yeah, that's the thing, because that's I'm going to go with the culture. Because the thing is, you just want to make money. The answer is, what kind of company would you buy? Well, the answer is Amazon, Apple. That's it. How
Right.
boring is that?
Exactly.
I want Victoria's Secret, and the whole, and I want their calendar and
Yeah.
everything that comes
The
with
fashion
it.
show.
I want the whole 9 yards on that one.
That's a great one.
Thank you. I have more.
Well,
That's
you
a
guys,
little Trumpish, though. Like
No.
with Miss America or whichever one he
See,
owned.
the things that make it Trumpish is Trump. Act like a gentleman. It's not a Trump. Like a beauty contest and chicks in their
Yeah.
underwear for a couple extra dollars. That's a time-honored profession.
I stand corrected.
If you do.
You wanting to buy the company with the women in their underwear, totally on the up and up.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that come off that way? No, not at all. But I just don't want to be Trump in any way.
So Danny's going to own Victoria's Secret. I'm going to own Tesla. What company would you most like to own? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025.
You want a piece of me? You gotta go through Amazon. Because that's the way it's going. You want anything, it's gonna be Amazon. People, and they're starting to buy and buy and buy. And Sarah posed a fine question. If you were gonna buy any corporation, money is no object, what would it be?
Well, I like your answer. I think Victoria's Secret's fun. Like you said, Apple, meh.
Yeah, well, see, because that's just, you're just going for what has the most money. That's
Right.
not fun or anything like that. So now that I've been all Victoria's Secret, now I'm gonna go Disney.
Okay.
They got resorts all around the world: Hawaii, Japan, Tokyo, France.
Yeah.
Come on, that's got of fun. Let's combine the two, chicks in their underwear on the Matterhorn.
So if you did buy Disney, then you would probably not have to wait in line.
Right. Oh, you get the special bracelet.
What do you think, guys? What company would you most like to own? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025. Paul in Buckley, good morning.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, good morning, guys. Danny, you should be interested in this as well. I want to bring Dodge and Chrysler back home and put them back on the NASCAR circuit. Fiat owns them. I'm shocked that
You wouldn't you if you thought about it, especially if you just saw a car dealership, you'd go, well, look at that Dodge Charger, look at that, all those muscly Dodge, the Challenger, and then all of a sudden you go, Fiat, who owns what?
I could get you $1,000 closer to buying whatever company you want to buy.
There you go. Well, so Paul's saying that Fiat owns Chrysler and which one?
Dodge.
No, yeah.
So does that mean now those are Italian? Because Fiat's an Italian car, or is Fiat now owned by an
You
American?
could probably make that walk if you wanted to, but they're not built in Italy. That's for sure.
Right. Nothing's built in Italy but pasta.
No, I think
Pizza.
there's some Fiats and Ferraris and not Mitsubishis. What's the M1? Maseratis.
That are built there?
Yeah.
Right on.
In Lucca, Italy.
800-252-1025. What company would you most like to own? Amazon, the reports are they're going to look at buying Target. Boring. I'm buying Tesla. Danny's buying Disney and Victoria's Secret because who doesn't want to wear a bikini when they're at the Matterhorn?
Exactly, I do.
Yeah.
Bill in Lakewood, good morning to you.
Morning, Bill.
Good morning. Hey, I got some unfinished business from yesterday. Can I do that real quick?
Sure.
Of course.
Okay. Bonaducci takes a snap. He drops back. He dodges the pressure. He steps up into the pocket. He lets one fly down to the end zone. And it's caught by Danny Bonaducci with a fantastic toe drag.
And the crowd goes wild.
And the crowd goes.
All right. That was, if I'm not mistaken, that was the playback of me passing a ball to myself for a touchdown.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bill, nice job.
Thank
So
you there, Bill.
this
All
was
right,
his
now.
dream TV job, right?
Right,
He was
yeah.
a sportscaster.
And turns out you give him
right.
24 hours in between every play.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
The game moves a little faster than that, Bill.
Same thing with me. You give me 24 hours between every joke.
Yeah.
This is the best radio show.
So what company would you like to own there, Bill?
Well, you know what? I'd like to own Geico. Because I don't think I'd just be getting an insurance company. I'd be getting a pig. I'd be getting a gecko.
Yeah.
Getting some cavemen.
Mayhem.
You remember the cavemen? The cavemen were
Oh,
fun.
they
I
were.
didn't get them at first, but they turned out to be funny.
Mayhem's handsome, so Bill gets him as
There
well.
is no mayhem.
I just saw him yesterday.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Oh, he said New Year's resolution he's not going to have mayhem anymore?
Yeah, he's just some guy now. It's sad. I loved mayhem.
Yeah, but everybody breaks their New Year's resolution, so he'll be
That's
back
true.
tomorrow. Dave in Federal Way, what company would you most like to own?
Half a day from Guam, guys.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, I'd like to own Dave and Buster's and rename it to Half a Day from and Buster's.
Hoppa Dave and Buster's. I like it.
That's awesome.
That's a good one to own, too, not just because it's a clever name, but he just gets to go play games
Yeah.
and drink
Yeah.
and eat chicken wings.
All
Even
day,
in-
that's your job.
Even
Yeah.
in my fake scenario that I'm going to have Victoria's Secret and Disney and stuff like that, I also think the way they make money, how do things make money. I do not get how Dave and Buster's makes money. It's so much real estate
Yeah.
for all the ping pong tables and air hockey and stuff. The rent's got to be crazy.
Where is there one around here? Do you know?
They just opened a brand new one in Auburn, down at the Super Mall.
Uh-oh, that's bad news for the Dooch man because you're going to go spend all day there and then buy a lot of clothes and
That's
sneakers.
exactly what's going to happen.
What business would you most like to own? That's the question. That's what we're talking about at 800-252-1025. Renee in Bothell High.
Good morning.
Morning.
I would own Starbucks for sure. They're genius.
Yeah.
They are genius, man. $5 for a cup of coffee, and you're happy to do it.
Yeah.
That's the magic, not the getting money out of people. There's businesses all over the world getting you to spend $5 on a $2 product and go.
Yeah.
But my $2 product for $5 is awesome.
Tori, was that what you wanted to buy? You're a coffee addict.
No, I actually wanted to buy Gibson guitars.
Well, that's a good
nice
one.
Yeah.
Just because I want to hang out with the rock stars, not that I have a clue how to play an actual guitar.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I get it.
I'm actually surprised you didn't pick that one, Danny. You've got guitar envy.
I do have guitar envy, especially for my Gibson and my Les Paul and
Yeah.
things like that. But no, I have. You know what I would buy? I mean, if you're going to keep throwing them to me, I'm going to keep having answers. I'd buy Sandals, that vacation place that has all
fun.
your drinks, all your
Yeah.
food, happy couples running around mostly on their honeymoons and stuff like that. I would do that. That sounds great.
And then the Victoria's Secret also comes into play because they sell
They have to
bathing
go to my
suits, too.
other resort unless they bring a man with them, and I don't want them bringing a man to my resort.
What company would you most like to own, Tyler in Covington?
Yeah, you know that on TV that where they restore the cars down there called Grease Monkeys? I think that would be fun to own.
Yeah, that's. I believe that's in Dallas, Texas.
Oh yeah, Gas Monkey, right?
Gas
Monkey Garage.
Gas Monkey
Gas
Garage.
Monkeys, that's it. You got it.
That dude,
Yeah.
that Richard dude, he turned being an auto repairman or whatever the hell he was. He's a multimillionaire now. He's got several national commercials, one of them being a Dodge commercial.
And Jeremiah in Seattle, what company would you most like to own?
Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning, sweetheart. What's up?
Playboy. We got to keep Hess' legacy alive.
Ew.
What? I got to be honest, Danny, I was surprised. Jeremiah reminds me, I'm a little surprised you didn't pick the Bunny Ranch.
You know what? I thought about it, but I'm trying. I don't know. I don't want to take this premise so seriously, but I'm a married guy. I can get away with Victoria's Secret. I cannot get away with a brothel.
This is a good point. Paul, what company would you like to own?
I'm going to go with a restaurant chain, but you'd think I would pick In-N-Out because I love it so much, and then I could move it to Washington. But I'd go with Mickey D's. It's like one of the most recognizable brands in the world. It's like an $800 billion company or whatever. Plus, I think I get a McRib and a Shamrock Shake anytime I want. Forever.
Here's what I got. I got chicks in their underwear in Disneyland, and you went for a drive-through?
Yeah.
You crazy person?
I think Paul
Tell
might
me-
have a leg up on you there.
Don't tell me you and the Victoria's Secret ladies are not going to come see me
First
when you
thing,
need a McRib.
I'll give you $3 right away or whatever they're selling for these days.
Yo, in Olympia.
Hi, yo.
Hi, yo.
And how are you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Well, I would buy iHeartRadio, so then I would own KZOK, and I'd rename it KZYOK and play all my favorite music.
Wow, that is bitchin' KZOK.
That's awesome, but is Yo saying we're not already playing all of her favorite music?
Oh, I'm a little concerned about that. But it's just not with her touch.
Ah, yeah, I see.
All right,
Yo
program your top 3 songs on KZOK.
Fire Woman,
You're fired. Okay, go on.
20th Century Fox,
Yeah, you're fired. Go on.
and Light My Fire.
Okay.
Everything fire.
No. Oh, I didn't even get it. I was so busy yelling at her because I didn't like the first 2 songs.
And Derek, what company would you most like to own?
If I'm being 100% honest, there's an online network that I would love to be the owner of called Brazzers, and I'm pretty sure Danny knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know.
It's a porn company.
Oh, there you go. They own 31 websites.
Oh,
Danny,
give
you-
me some of those. I'm still going to that same one Gibbons gave me 10 years ago.
Been to all of them.
I don't know. No, I don't know one address. Any address except the one Gibbons gave me. And I'd be afraid to go because you think, oh, they're going to like demand credit cards or ID or.
Yeah, but you don't have to give it to them.
And when I own it, I'll give you a free pass.
There you go.
There we go.
Hey, it's time to play Name That Battle.
Name that battle.
This is for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Battle at the Boat 114 next Friday night at the Emerald Queen Casino. If you want to play and win those tickets, you need to call right now, 800-252-1025. We are giving you a chance to win your way into Battle at the Boat. It's Battle at the Boat 114 happening next Friday at the Emerald Queen Casino. And we're playing Name That Battle.
Name that battle.
To win, you'll have to identify the famous battle from Danny's Clue.
It's funny already.
Yeah, man.
Terry in Tukwila is our contestant this morning.
TT.
Line 5. Terry.
What?
Don't mind us, we're crazy, TT.
Terry in
Terry in
TT.
Tequila.
Oh,
Good morning, you people.
What do you mean,
you mean, you people?
Hey, Terry, we're having fun here.
And you're about to join us. Let me hear the big questions. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yes.
And do you understand the rules to the game?
Yes.
All right, here we go. This famous battle was a 1973 tennis match that became the most watched television sporting event of its time, and later a critically acclaimed movie. Derek was disappointed when he rented out an entire theater to himself because of the movie he thought was called Battle of the Sexies. But all he got was Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs. Can you name that battle?
Battle of the Sexes.
Battle of the Sexes.
Nice job,
Absolutely correct.
TT. You are going to hang out with Danny Boom Boom Bonaducci
Boom, boom, Bonaducci.
next Friday night at the Emerald Queen Casino. She is headed to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby. The rest of you, join us again tomorrow at 7:20 for another exciting round of Name That Battle.
This traffic report is brought to you by Think It Up. We have some stop and go traffic on I-5 northbound between Boeing Access Road and the West Seattle Bridge. And on I-5 southbound, you're still going to have long delays as you make your way down towards the West Seattle Bridge, starting around Mercer. We're going to see some backed up traffic there because we have earlier we have an overturned vehicle still blocking a few lanes there. That is your look at traffic, and I'm Derek on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Think It Up. It is currently 38 degrees in Seattle right now. It's going to be a high of 47 today and a low of 42. You're going to get some scattered showers this afternoon. That was your weather. I'm Tori on 102.5 KZOK.
Here's the big news. That there's big news, and it's coming right up.
Some of the stories we'll be tackling this morning. What new health trend has doctors very, very worried? Are you into this one? I certainly hope not. A strange crime is being investigated involving the world's most expensive what? And some fast food lovers' dreams are about to come true. Where, when, what? All next.
And the big news of the day is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE, or you can go online to goldbergjones.com.
There's a new health craze that has many people doing something a bit unusual. Now, this time of year, we get a lot of people going on diets.
Right.
We get a lot of people turning over a new leaf. I'm going to go on a cleanse. I'm not going to drink alcohol. I'm going to eat healthy. This health trend, they say, is very, very dangerous. It's called raw water.
I don't even know what it means.
Unfiltered water.
Otherwise known as water. Right?
Dirty water.
Well,
No, why would you get dirty water? That seems crazy.
the problem with
And a
it.
terrible name brand.
Yeah.
Dirty water.
Think about when you. This is a funny thing to say. Think about if you were to go camping.
That is a funny thing to say.
You think, okay, there's water everywhere. I can just go over to this stream.
Yeah.
No. Animals go number 1 or number 2 in streams, and they have really dangerous bacteria. One of the big ones is Giardia, and that makes you really sick. There's also E. coli. There's all sorts of waterborne illnesses, which is why we have water that goes to
Right.
processing.
Okay.
This trend is called raw water.
Where do you even get it?
From a creek or a stream or something?
Companies are bottling it, and it costs like $37 to $60 for a 2.5 gallon jug. So you'd go get your growler filled with raw water.
No, I wouldn't. I would never.
And why wouldn't you just go find that raw water yourself?
I'm not driving out to creeks, man, for $2.
Okay, well, it rains here. Why not just put your bucket outside?
Why not do cisterns? Yeah. Why not do that?
Well, some people who are proponents say it has a vaguely mild sweetness, a nice smooth mouthfeel, nothing that overwhelms the flavor profile.
Wow. I have like 4 rain barrels at home that we really don't do anything with. I got to get into the raw water business.
Raw water. That's what
Suddenly I'm a water farmer.
Yeah, well, experts are saying pass on this one.
all sorts of diseases, right?
All sorts of diseases, parasites.
Don't tell people I'm starting a business over here.
Yours might be a little safer if it's rainwater.
Rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be fun.
But just maybe.
I won $100 once drinking a whole glass of water out of a garden hose in Tijuana.
Ew!
Yeah. And I didn't get sick.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Yeah, I was surprised myself, but
Wow.
I need $100.
I don't know about Tijuana, but water out of the garden hose, like one of the greatest things in life.
Yeah, not in Tijuana.
Do you remember water out of the gutter?
No.
You didn't have this fun.
Yeah, I haven't had that kind of hard
You
time
did
in my
not-
life.
It was a hard time. I lived a mile from school, and it gets to be 105 degrees in the San Fernando Valley. And I'd just be walking home with Jim O'Neill. We'd be really thirsty. We'd go looking for a garden hose or something, take a sip out of, and we didn't find one, just right out of the driveway.
I would have assumed you passed out in the gutter, and that's what you had to
Well, I
drink.
passed out in the gutter half a dozen times, but not with Jim O'Neill.
Copenhagen police are investigating the theft
They
of
have cops in Copenhagen.
Not a
Do
lot.
they wear
There's-
little wooden shoes?
So I lived over there about a year and a half, and I saw a total of maybe 5 police officers.
And that was all of them.
Yeah, that was pretty much all of them.
Well, Copenhagen is one of the biggest cities. They do have
And what?
Denmark.
In one of the tiniest countries in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah,
So
in
like
Denmark.
9 guys live there. One of them is a cop, apparently.
That's true.
I got this story.
They're investigating the theft of a bottle of vodka.
I think they
that-
should. I'm inflamed about it.
It is purported to be the world's most expensive bottle of vodka.
Okay, is it super stupid, like the world's most expensive pizza, and it's got gold leaf and caviar and lobster eyes or
Knock it
whatever
off
it
with
is?
a gold leaf.
Or is it something just bitchin'?
It's something bitchin'.
Ah, neat. What do you got?
Because you're right. Normally it is foie gras with truffles and gold flakes.
Right.
No. This is the world's most expensive bottle of vodka, valued at $1.3 million.
Jeez.
This bottle is made of gold and has a diamond encrusted cap. It is of Russian origin and it's very old. And they said that it's the bottle that houses that vodka that makes it worth $1.3 million. Somebody stole it. It was on loan from a Russian businessman and uninsured, and now they're looking for the
Any
robber.
Russian businessman that has a $2 million bottle of spirits laying on, you know that you're just going to wake up at the bottom of the ocean.
Well, they are hoping to be able to track down the people who stole this because that's a lot of loot.
So it's a ton of loot, and I can't see it being easy to sell. It sounds crazy.
Yeah. For 6 years, a woman suffered from regular bouts of sharp abdominal pains. Doctors said, yeah, I think you've got Crohn's disease.
Oh.
And that's a bummer. You know, it's a
Yeah.
digestive disorder.
I used
And
to have Gary Crohn disease. That's a totally different thing.
What, man?
that was almost super funny.
I'm going to stay with it. Was super funny. In my head, people are laughing.
Well, she wasn't responding.
Are they laughing at you?
I can't tell, the evil bastards.
Now, she wasn't responding to the usual treatments for Crohn's disease. They said, okay, we're going to do surgery. We're going to go in and see if we can fix the inflamed intestines, bowels, and figure out what's wrong down there that we're not being able to treat you for Crohn's disease.
Any guesses so far, Paul?
No. Has she swallowed something?
I'm going to go with she had a surgery at some other point and he left something in her.
Oh, yeah.
You're all a little bit close.
We are.
She had swallowed a ketchup packet.
Oh.
And it had gotten enlarged in her intestine. They said the packet was no longer intact, but you could see the words Heinz. She must have swallowed it years ago, probably 10 years ago, and it had started to break down a little bit, but that's what was causing her issues in her intestines was a packet, probably from like McDonald's.
And she couldn't get it to come out her Heinz?
No. Now she is symptom-free.
It totally adds a new phrase. Hey, could you pass the ketchup? That's a little disgusting. And apparently, no, I can't. I wouldn't be doing all this.
You'd think she'd remember that, though. You swallow a packet of ketchup, I mean, that's going to stick with you.
Can you remember everything you swallowed?
You think about if you're a little kid, you put a lot of stuff in your mouth or up your nose.
Yep.
Yeah.
So maybe she just had no idea, or maybe she was really hungry or really high and just shoveled all those French fries in.
I had I went to the store yesterday to get Amy some soup and stuff. She wasn't feeling that well, and I had one of those spontaneous purchases. I grabbed a packet of hot dogs and hot dog buns. I'm going to make us some quick hot dogs in the microwave. It's going to take less than a minute. It's going to be great. And I like mayonnaise on my hot dogs. I also wanted to put ketchup on my hot dogs, and I put ketchup all down the thing. I ate it. It just tasted like crap, and everything was new, and I don't know why everything was so gross. And I ate the whole thing, and still said, "Why is that so gross?" And I looked in the trash. It was soy sauce. So I had mayonnaise and soy sauce on my hot dog.
Probably low sodium, too.
I won't stand for that.
Well, speaking of ketchup packets, Taco Bell is making drive-through dreams come true.
Yeah.
The late night spot for
I don't think
many
anybody
people.
that goes to Taco Bell after 7 at night should be allowed to drive a car.
Well, much to the delight of many, they are finally adding French fries to their menu. They said the French fries will be coated with what Taco Bell calls bold Mexican seasoning.
All right.
It's $1, and it'll come with a side of nacho cheese sauce for dipping.
For $1, we get like Mexican French fries with nacho cheese sauce?
Yes.
How many nationalities are in your snack? Your Mexican French fries.
Right.
That's 3 things, I think.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty delicious. You can also
Why were they putting up the fight about not having French fries?
Because it's a taco place.
It's also an egg place. It's also a
But
Slurpee
it's
place.
Primarily Mexican food, not French food.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I think it was a dumb fight, but not as dumb, but dumb was and rectified by our friends at McDonald's who went, okay, you've been asking for breakfast all day, you can have it. Why would you go, nope, no fries ever?
But why would McDonald's start serving tacos? They probably wouldn't. So why would
Because they
Taco
think they can make a buck off it.
Yeah.
I wonder if Taco Bell didn't have a fryer before.
Isn't everything fried at Taco Bell?
Oh, I thought you meant like the big monk.
No.
Well, these will be available on the menu. French fries, Taco Bell, starting January 25th.
Do you know what a Taco Bell stacker is?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. That's
I've
new,
seen
right?
it. I don't know what it is, though.
It's like ground beef and nacho cheese inside a quesadilla.
What makes it a stacker?
Then they like fold that quesadilla 3 times to stack it up.
Oh, we need those.
Yeah.
I ate one the other day. It's like an enchilada in a weird shape. That's essentially all it is.
I love it.
yeah.
It's still delicious. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. And it's $1.
And now they have
It's
fries.
$1?
And
Yeah,
let's just say
$1.
this, though. It's $1.
It's
Yeah.
$1?
It's $1.
That's the big news of the day. It's brought to you by Goldberg Jones. Divorce for Men, 1-800-DIVORCE or online at goldbergjones.com.
And coming up, it's Sarah's Filthy Forecast.
It's Sarah with your filthy forecast. Oh, you got nailed yesterday, didn't you? By nice, penetrating rays of the sun.
I did.
I hope you enjoyed it, because today is
did.
going to be, oh, so wet. Just 45 for the high. Might I recommend some indoor activities? Strip poker, giant Jenga. Oh, and today is National Spaghetti Day.
National Spaghetti Day.
I'm hungry.
You've seen 9.5 Weeks, 50 Shades of Grey. You know what to do with your long, thick stretch of flesh-colored edible
Jeez.
yumminess.
I don't even remember what she's talking about.
I'm over lasagna.
Spaghetti.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy the moist conditions, my filthy forecast friends. Wet. With the best weather front in Seattle, I'm Sarah.
I was scared when you told me I had to penetrate Ray. That seemed very odd to me. That was Sarah's Filthy Forecast. And by the way, if you're here tomorrow morning, right around this same time, and you know where Sarah's Beaver's been, you're going to win a pair of tickets to see Ann Wilson of Heart on February 9th at the EQC. It's a casino.
This traffic report is brought to you by a Foundation for a Better Life. Still dealing with some issues on I-5 southbound as you approach the West Seattle Bridge. We have an overturned vehicle. Currently, the 3 left lanes are blocked, and that traffic jam is going to start at 85th Street and go all the way down as you make your way towards the West Seattle Bridge. Hi, neighbor. Mr. Rogers passed along friendship, hoping we would too. Friendship. On from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Woo! It is 8 o'clock in the morning. Actually, it's 2 minutes after 8 o'clock in the morning. I just want to let you guys know that we are doing a thing called Money for Nothing. Money for Nothing. It's a giveaway on KZOK. It continues all day long, 16 times a day, as I understand it, with a shot to win $1,000 every hour.
We're talking about a man in New Zealand who woke up from a nice night's sleep, and there was a kid sleeping on his couch. Like 20, 21 years old, somewhere in there. And he took a picture of him and he decided he doesn't look dangerous. He looks like a kid who got drunk and didn't make it home. So he let him sleep it off and told him, this isn't okay. But I didn't want you I didn't call the police or anything.
He took a picture of the kid while he was asleep? Mm-hmm. Did he immediately have to resign as senator?
Yeah.
Well, I would guess finding somebody asleep on your couch is kind of the definition of an unwanted house guest.
Oh, no. I think if the kid starts like he's really drunk and goes number one on your couch, that is an unwanted house guest. And I've had plenty of those guys in my life.
Well, there was a story not too long ago in Australia where a couple woke up, heard a ruckus in their living room, went downstairs, and on the couch was just a koala hanging out. I would say that's a wanted house guest, though.
Stuff like that used to happen to me when I was a very little kid. I have rare memories of these, but they've been told time and time again through my family. My dad worked at the Philadelphia Zoo and for the Philadelphia Zoo, and we lived in a 200-year-old schoolhouse. It was built into the wall. It said built 1799. That place.
Wow.
And so we'd come home all the time, and they weren't just passed out on your couch, but there'd be a full-blown bear in our house, in a kennel, but full-blown chimps and gigantic snakes all the time.
Well, I mean, Paul, you live in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to guess you've had some unwanted house guests.
It's funny. The very first night that we were in this house, we woke up the next morning, and Jelly Bean comes in my room, says, Daddy, it's time to go watch cartoons. So we go down to watch some cartoons, and right out our front window are these two horses just standing in our front yard munching on grass.
Whoa, that's weird.
I thought, oh, okay, that's where we live now. That horses just wander into our yard.
Whose horses were they?
They were neighbors' horses that just somehow got out.
Did you eat them?
Came to visit us. We did not eat the horses.
All right.
Have you had an unwanted house guest? We would love to hear your story. Call us right now, 800-252-1025.
So some guy wakes up in New Zealand, which is not really news. People do it in New Zealand all the time. But he woke up and there was some just guy passed out in his house. And the question there is, hey, you ever woken up and just had an unwanted house guest, or just in general had an unwanted house guest? Give us a call, 1-800-252-1025.
What about you, Brian, calling from Fife?
Well, years ago, we had a raccoon, female, that ripped the vent off of the foundation of the house, decided to go down there and have babies, ripped the insulation off underneath the house, the whole 9 yards. We didn't know it until one day the dog was going crazy at the door, and here's 3 baby raccoons on our porch.
Aww.
Which, by the way, they seem adorable, but I think we've all discussed this. They're a big raccoon. It's the size of a medium dog, except with fangs and claws. They're not that cute.
They're vicious. No, they really are not.
They really aren't.
Woo!
$1,000 could help you get rid of those raccoons, I bet.
That's a good point. Rock in Tacoma, have you ever had an unwanted house guest?
Hi, guys. Yeah, there was this one time I was upstairs in my room and I heard a ruckus and I thought I was getting robbed. So I grabbed my gun because I'm from L.A. and that's what we do. So
That's
I
so
went
weird. That used to be
downstairs.
what you said about Texas 20 years ago. I grab my gun because I'm Texas. That's what we do. Now it's an L.A. thing.
Oh, maybe she means L.A. like Louisiana.
Louisiana, yeah. All right, Rock. So what?
I mean L.A. So I grabbed my gun and I go downstairs and it was a family of raccoons. And it scared me so bad I ran back upstairs and locked myself in the room and for help.
Okay, I'll bite though. By the way, why is your name Rock?
Because that's what my mama named me.
That's your actual name.
It is my actual name.
I gotta tell you, there's something cute. There's something super cute about that. It's
just how they do it in L.A.
Because she grabbed a gun, named her daughter Rock. Why? Because we're from L.A. Yeah, that's how we roll.
And we can't ask her, but I'd love to know what her last name is. Do you think it's Enroll?
That is her last name. Her first name is Crack.
Oh, Enroll.
Oh yeah, that's better.
Crack Rock?
Yeah. Okay, Chris Rock. How about the Rock? And I can smell what she's cooking.
Jerry in Seattle, have you had an unwanted house guest?
I was the unwanted house guest.
Uh-oh. What'd you do?
I was in Kodiak, Alaska, and it was the mayor's wife's birthday, so they made homebrew. Of course, back then I drank, I don't no more. And I had my fair share of the brew, and I went to go home and went inside the people's house I was staying and got some chicken out of the fridge and made a bed on the couch and was laying there, and the guy walked out and was like, "What are you doing in my house?" I went to the wrong house. Fell asleep and was eating chicken, and he kicked me out of the house, and I went and slept in his truck, and they woke me up in the morning and fed me breakfast.
Well, that's sweet. But if you ever want to know how Alaska rolls, now you know. It's the mayor's wife's birthday. So what are we going to do? We're going to make some homebrew, some toilet wine.
But the guy kicks you out of his house and you still go sleep in his truck?
Yeah, well, it's
they're
Alaska.
neighborly.
And then they make you breakfast.
At least they were hospitable about it.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law came to stay with us for a couple of weeks, and that turned into several months. That's an unwanted house guest.
That's an unwanted house guest. Who is this person?
My brother-in-law, Matt's brother.
Matt's brother?
Yeah.
And you didn't just kill him?
He's a great kid, and I really, really like him, but you still want your space back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I have an uncle like that who we don't tell him our address because it's like he'll come to visit, and it's like, okay, so when are you leaving?
And he has no intention.
He goes, I don't know about leaving. Who said anything about leaving?
Oh.
And now, my folks will have guests over occasionally, and they don't have a guest room. They
Smart.
live with us. We have a guest room.
Yep.
Right.
So they invite them to stay in our guest room.
Well, you got the guest room. And you can't, you know what, there's always noisy sex going on. I mean, not at my house, but you can't have that.
Denisha, North Bend, have you had an unwanted house guest?
I have had an unwanted house guest. I woke up to a bat over my bed, and that was very scary. And, it was creepy.
Did it
Wake up
bite
and there's
you?
a
Was it
bat.
Nosferatu?
I will tell you this, there is no animal creepier looking than the
Absolutely.
bat.
Yeah.
What about the pig
they're
nose
just
bat?
crazy. The pig nose bat. The fruit bats are very weird, too. They're very creepy things.
Well, and, especially for Denisha, who has long hair, when you see a bat, you get really nervous because the bats can very easily get stuck in your long hair, and then you have a bat head.
You wouldn't want that. That'd be terrible.
Trucker Rob in Seattle, have you had an unwanted house guest?
Hey, good day, Danny, my brother. How
are you, man? All good. We're now over here at iHeartRadio. Probably sounds the same, even a little bit better, but we moved down the street. What do you got for us there, Trucker Rob?
Well, I got one for you here. About 17 years ago, I lived up in Sitka, Alaska.
Yeah.
And, we were chilling this is about June, July type. Well, my 4-year-old daughter came in, and she's waking me up going, Daddy, Daddy. And I'm like half asleep. I'm like, what? She goes, Daddy, there's a deer in our shed, and it's locked in there. And I'm like, a deer? And I'm kind of thinking, okay. So I'm trying to ignore it. Well, she keeps waking me up. And Daddy, I was all right. So I just said, all right, got to get up, grab my slippers and put my robe on and everything. I go walking out there. And I'm thinking, okay, a deer, maybe a little yearling. This time they're giving birth, what have you. And so I go to open up the door, and I'm like, my daughter's like, Dad, it's a deer. And I'm like, no, baby, that's not a deer. It's about a 1,300-pound cow moose with a newborn calf.
Oh.
Yeah, it decided to give birth in my garage. Needless to say, because you still have the umbilical cord hanging there. And I grabbed my daughter, I opened up the garage door, and we hauled back to the house. And she's like, what? Baby, that's not a deer. That's a moose.
Wow.
They are so scary.
So
They're
scary, but even a
gigantic.
deer isn't always guaranteed going to be friendly.
No.
I've seen those stupid videotapes of deer beating people up.
Yeah.
That's
But the moose, especially with a newborn, they say are very, very protective and can really kick you and hurt you.
They'd kick you to death.
They got to call the moose GYN, OBGYN, to get the umbilical cord cut.
I don't think there is one of those.
No?
No,
Well, there
Danny's
should be.
got to help deliver the moose.
I'll
baby.
deliver a moose.
Yo, in Olympia, have you had an unwanted house guest?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
His name was Gerald, and apparently the police left him at our house after they came and busted an underage drinking party. He asked if he could spend the night, and we said, no, get out.
Why did the cops leave him behind?
Why is any of this happening to you, yo?
We do not know.
Oh, super
Do not
weird.
know. It was rather hilarious.
Did you
And scary.
ask the cops, hey, why are you leaving this strange child at our house?
They left. They came. They busted the party. They said, everybody leave. And then we went back into the house, and a couple people were sitting on the couch.
Oh, the party was at your house.
Oh, so your daughter was breaking the law.
No, we were like 20s. There's a couple people on the couch, and we said, hey, you got to leave. And they said, well, our ride's not here. And then we said, well, who are you? And he said, I'm Gerald. And we said, well, how'd you get here? And he said, well, the cops left me. They were giving me a ride. Can I spend the night? And we said, no.
I think he was up to no
Does
good.
anybody else smell Yo's story falling apart?
Yeah. It makes a little more sense now that the party was happening at Yo's house.
Yeah, with Yo's family breaking the
Right.
law because they're
Yeah.
criminals.
James in Bothell, have you had an unwanted house guest?
Yeah, sure. Pigeons. I was replacing a kitchen skylight at a friend's house, and I took a break for lunch, and when I came back, there was like a half a dozen pigeons in the kitchen. They must have gotten chased in by some hawks or something, but there were pigeons all over the kitchen.
Well, you know the weird that my knee-jerk reaction is say, did you eat them?
Yeah.
Because
squab.
pigeons okay. Yeah. But I'm not sure about wild pigeon flying around your kitchen,
Right.
that they're the same thing as eating pigeons.
Why did Russell Wilson chase them into his skylight, I wonder? He said the hawks chased him.
Oh.
Wow. I feel so much better about the last stupid thing I did.
You know it's a great joke when you have to explain it.
Yeah.
Robert in Tacoma, good morning.
Good morning, beautiful people.
Hey, what's up, man?
It started with a wanted guest, my nephew, 22. Then he's from Texas. I moved him out in hopes of a new life because he was an aspiring chef. So he came for a while. He stayed. But after time, I started realizing there was a lot of things he wasn't being honest with me and my wife about. The main thing was he had warrants in Texas. So he became an unwanted guest after we found out he had warrants in Texas.
That's the thing. That's the tripping point for you.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess what's the warrant for? If it's for
Right.
something super bad, then...
And they don't hand them out for nothing. Although I've
Especially-
had one or two that were stupid.
Yeah.
Well, Thomas and Puyallup, hello.
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 Would you like to tell us about your unwanted house guest?
Yeah, it was 2003, living up in Packwood, and me and my wife got up in the morning to let our little dogs out, 2 dachshunds, and all of a sudden they were just barking up a storm. We didn't know why, because we had a fenced yard, about a 3-foot-high fence, and we go outside, and one of the dachshunds is surrounded by about 8 moose.
Wow, a lot of moose in these stories. I didn't know we had
And
moose in these
raccoons.
parts.
It's a 50-50 raccoons and moose.
They're taking over the world just like Amazon.
Yeah, they are.
Tori, have you had an unwanted house guest?
Yes, there was an annoying little mouse that constantly found his way into my apartment, and I named him Bob, and then one day I killed Bob, and I felt so bad about it, I had to hold a funeral for him.
Wow.
How did you kill him?
I just got a mouse trap, but I came home and he was dead, and I felt so
Sticky or snap?
Snap.
Ew. Oh, ew, either way.
Did you put him in your freezer?
No. He's in the ground now.
He's what?
In the ground. I had a funeral.
Oh, so she actually buried him.
Yeah.
Oh, Tori.
Well, it's kind of easy to bury a mouse.
She's
What
an
if she
animal
killed a
killer.
moose?
She'd
That'd be
put
tougher,
it
yeah.
in the freezer.
Be all dang long.
Derek, did you have an unwanted house guest?
I came home from work one day, put the key in the lock, opened the door, walked inside, and I heard a baby crying. My first thought was I should probably go get in my car, drive to Portland, start a new life.
Right, exactly.
But my second thought was, no, seriously, what the hell is a baby doing in my house? So I walk in, and it's a friend of mine who's dating a girl who has a baby that's not his, but he plays babysitter sometimes where he takes care of the baby. And for some reason, he thought it'd be a good idea to bring it to my house. I said, you know me. This is not a good place for a baby. This
No.
is the last place a baby should be. But I don't know. We fed it and stuff and changed its diaper. And it's fine.
Fed it and
Fed it
stuff.
and stuff.
All the important stuff. If you need a babysitter, Derek.
Yeah, no.
Traffic is brought to you by the TJ Martell Foundation. On I-5 southbound as you approach the West Seattle Bridge, we do still have the 3 left lanes currently blocked due to an overturned vehicle. If you're looking for alternate routes, the express lanes are super jammed up. 99 also backed up, so you might want to stick to Airport Way, MLK, or even First Ave would be a better bet making your way through that mess. Join the TJ Martell Foundation in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn more. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by unbound.org. It is currently 39 degrees in Seattle right now. It's going to be a high of 46 today and a low of 42. You're going to get some scattered showers this afternoon. There's a girl in El Salvador who dreams of becoming an engineer. There's an elder in Uganda who dreams of having a community to call his own. No two dreams are the same. Help one person achieve theirs at unbound.org. Now back to Danny and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
One driver was killed and another seriously injured last night in a head-on collision on State Route 410 in Bonnie Lake. The male driver of a Ford F-250 died of his injuries at the crash. The driver of a Ford Escape suffered serious injuries and was taken to the hospital. Now, we do have a lot of other traffic issues happening this morning. Of course, Derek will continue to keep you posted. Are those closures easing up a bit, Derek?
You know what? Not quite. We're still dealing with a few issues. The 3 left lanes are blocked. 2 right lanes are open, so make your way slowly through that area.
Which area is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was I-5 southbound at the West Seattle Bridge. I've said it so many times today. I forget that people don't listen to the entire show, so someone might have just tuned in.
That's right. Whenever we hear you talking, we tune out.
In the traffic jam going, I wonder where I am because I'm in traffic.
Yeah, you're going to be there for a while, buddy. Just take it slow.
Yeah, good advice. Take it slow. It's stop and go traffic, and you said take it slow.
Yeah, you don't want people to speed up and ram into the person in front of them. It's going to make it worse.
All right.
I had it when that happens to me.
Aren't you glad you asked, Sarah?
Yes, I am. Change can be a scary thing, but a lot of people don't have sympathy for Oregonians who are bucking change in their state. In fact, people in Oregon are freaking out about the fact they are now allowed to pump their own gas. The state partially lifted its ban on self-service gas starting on January 1st, and this is because of people living in rural counties. That this appears to be about 40,000 people will have the ability to pump their own gas between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. There are only 2 states that have had bans on self-serve gas, Oregon and New Jersey.
Right.
The rest of the country is laughing at Oregon because they are freaking out because they don't know how to pump their own gas.
And they're laughing at Oregon because they're so high.
Well, some people are simply not used to it, and yeah, I guess it is a little bit daunting when you pump gas for the first time.
Now, are you used to it?
Am I used to pumping my own gas?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. See, the first time I went to New Jersey and they started yelling at me.
Yeah.
You can't pump your own gas. It's a law.
Yep. Well, and I did have that happen both in Oregon and New Jersey. You just forget that you're not supposed to be touching the gas pump. And you get out of the car, they're like, get back in the car.
No, they really, like, you committed some kind of crime.
I guess I get a little bit of what they're feeling, because think about the first time you pump gas in a new car.
Yes.
And you don't know exactly where the button is to open the gas cap lid.
Yep. I think that's all happened to all of us, hasn't it?
Yeah, it happened to me.
Now, when you put gas in your car, the car is supposed to be turned off, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Last time I was in Oregon, my car is running, and the dude starts pumping the gas. He never even told me to shut the engine off. Granted, it's a Prius, so he probably didn't know the engine was on, but it was.
True. Yeah, there's usually signs up all over the place. There was a thing, I got yelled at by somebody. I was pumping gas while talking on a cell phone. And people went, oh, no, you can make everything blow up. And I said, fake science. I don't believe it for 1 minute. And then I used to smoke while pumping my own gas. That was definitely frowned upon.
Playing with fire, my friend.
Literally.
Nearly 3,000 U.S. flights were canceled today as a powerful storm hit the Northeast, packing heavy snow, gusty winds, and the coldest air of the season. Some of those closures are happening from North Carolina to Maine, Florida, and here in Washington. If you're planning on flying to the East Coast, or if you have friends or family coming to visit you from basically anywhere in the East Coast, you can expect to find some issues. So check ahead with your carrier.
You can't talk about those issues at the airport, though. Like, why is my flight canceled? They can't tell you because it has the word bomb in it.
You're right. I just reached out to my sister-in-law who is in Boston, and I said, how's it going so far? She said it started snowing at about 7:30. And I said, okay, cool, right? You had enough leeway. You know what to expect. How much are you getting? She said, a foot.
Wow.
Like, it was no big deal.
Yeah.
A foot of snow. is falling.
We got I bet we got half a foot in Queen Anne, 2 weeks ago?
Really?
Yeah, it was
half
coming
a
down.
foot?
It was, well, I don't know what the legal measurement is, but yeah, it was like backed up high in the front yard.
Huh.
I guess if you push it all off to one side, it gets pretty high.
I know. I mean, like I said, I don't know how they measure it, but the roof of my car had what looked to be 4 inches of snow on it. Now, I don't know if that means there's 4 inches of snowfall, but on my roof, there was 4 inches of snow.
Yeah, we had 3 or 4 inches in my house as well.
Heard that.
You walked into that one, dude.
Yeah.
No, but I'm laughing too that the number of inches just keeps getting smaller and smaller. It's
Yeah.
just like y'all to exaggerate about how many inches.
Danny
there
had
are.
a foot, I think, in Queen Anne to start.
Yes, I did. A couple of feet.
Well, there are going to be continuing winter storm warnings. The concern now is after this snowfall today, they're getting bitter cold up and down the East Coast. So there's a lot of concerns that even after today, with these flight issues that will impact the entire country, then they're getting the wind and the drastic cold. So that's going to impact travel pretty much for the remainder of the week.
So take it easy out there. Take it slow out there, buddy. Slow down.
But this morning, the experts were saying because of this weather bomb, it's going to be colder than Mars. And I'm not sure why they chose to make that comparison because most of us have no idea what that feels like.
Yeah, also, I'm an idiot, but I thought Mars was hot.
I thought Mars was hot.
It's red, right?
Yeah, it's definitely red.
Derek,
It's got a face
what's the
on it.
temperature on Mars?
But you would think if it's red, it's got to be hot, right?
And it looks like desert.
Pluto seems cold, but Mars is hot.
Who's got
surface temperatures may reach a high of about 20 degrees Celsius, which would be 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh,
Huh.
Mars sounds
far
totally
less
livable.
interesting.
Mars
Yeah,
sounds
why are we all
totally
on Mars
cool.
right now?
Yeah, I'm guessing Derek's wrong about
I
that.
think
my
so.
guess is.
Hey, don't blame me. Blame the Climate of Mars Wikipedia page.
Sometimes I forget why I ask him questions.
Because this is always funny.
So it could get as cold as 68 today in the Northeast.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Say it ain't so.
Well, now at the north and south pole of Mars, it can go about as low as negative 243 degrees Fahrenheit.
Now that's cold.
So you want to stay near the center, not at the north and
You
south
don't
pole
want
of
to be.
Mars.
You don't want to be homeless on Mars. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's cold.
Oh, and a terrible story making news this morning. 3 cars on an Amtrak passenger train derailed near Savannah, Georgia. This, of course, is the second major train derailment that we've had, the first one in Washington and now another one in Georgia. Thankfully, there were no deaths being reported. They said that it is definitely related to the storm conditions, that they had issues staying on the track because of the really frigid conditions, even in North and South Carolina. 23 degrees was the temperature this morning when this derailment happened. It was a train going from Miami to New York, going at a slow speed, and then it derailed. Tobacco giant Philip Morris announced something very unusual this morning.
Yeah.
They're giving up cigarettes.
Well, that's very weird of them. What?
Seems like a big segment of their business.
Yes. They announced by taking out a full-page ad in all the British newspapers saying, this again is Philip Morris, the maker of Marlboro, their New Year's resolution for 2018 is to work towards stopping selling cigarettes and to replace them with things like e-cigarettes and heated tobacco. The company did say they're not going cold turkey.
So they're going to be out of the cigarette business, but they're definitely going to be heavily involved in the cancer business.
Yeah.
They said that they
See,
realized
Sarah's been doing it.
that there are high risks involved with smoking. And they went on to say in this ad, no cigarette company has done anything like this before. You might wonder if we really mean it. We do, and this is a move towards trying to make people healthier. They said we are going to try to go smoke-free as fast as we can. If we just stop selling them tomorrow, others would sell in our place. So they want to have a replacement for people.
All right. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on this, that they're good guys on this one.
But that replacement is still going to be tobacco products.
Right. Heated tobacco.
I don't know what heated tobacco is.
I don't know.
Anybody? Derek?
I just looked it up. So it's the acronym for it is HNB, heat not burn. So it'll heat it to a temperature that will release some sort of nicotine vapor, but it doesn't actually burn the nicotine itself.
So it's like the e-cigarette.
Yeah, it's basically another term for it.
Derek, did you give up smoking for your New Year's resolution?
I think I kind of have to now that we're on like the 99th floor of this building. I don't have time to run down for a cigarette.
It is a hike.
But it's hard. I'm like shaking in here. Oh, I don't like it.
Well, if Danny Bonaducci can quit after smoking 7 packs a day, you should be able to do it.
I'm working on it. The first week's the hardest, right?
I'll be your coach. Stop smoking.
Thank you.
All right, there we go.
Well, I have good news and bad news, my friends.
All right.
The good news, or bad news first?
Good news.
Yeah.
The good news is nobody won the $460 million Powerball drawing.
What is wrong with the way you live?
It's terrible news.
The bad
Very sad.
news.
Nobody won. No, let's focus on how terrible you are for me.
Well, the good news is if you didn't buy a ticket yesterday, you still have a chance.
I did, and you're just telling me now for the first time that I lost $440 million. That's bad news.
You did not win. That means the jackpot will be about $550 million for Saturday's drawing.
Okay.
All right.
Danny, did you buy a ticket?
For what? No, I didn't. I keep thinking I will, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, I went and bought one yesterday. I bought Mega Millions and Powerball. And for the Mega Millions, I decided I'm going to pick my own numbers. I'm like, okay, I got to pick my sister-in-law's birthday. I'm going to pick Matt's birthday. And then I picked my brother's birthday, and I picked my favorite number. And I looked down, and I'm like, that's not Matt's birthday. Totally picked the wrong day for his birthday.
She played an old boyfriend's
Yeah,
birthday.
seriously.
That's what happened.
Well, and then I thought, okay, now it's bad luck because what do? Do I just throw this away? Or is it one of those kismet things and I put in the wrong number and I'm going to win the lottery?
God, that is totally what I would have done, though. Oh, I didn't mean to do this, but I did it. I
Right.
wonder why. Yeah. all right.
Well, then I
I know
went
what
home.
Matt's going to do, though.
Yeah, leave
Rick
me.
Jones. Going to call Rick Jones.
I made the mistake of telling him last night, and that didn't go so well.
Oh, yeah. Plus, now you lost $440 million.
Yep.
Though, well, the good news is he'd have gotten half of that in the divorce.
This is true.
Yeah.
All right, so if you do want to get in on the Powerball drawing, that one is Saturday night. $550 million about.
Not bad.
The Mega Millions grand prize will be drawn on Friday. $418 million for the Mega.
No, I thought it was higher than that already.
For Fridays?
That's good.
Yeah, no, I thought last night's was 440, but maybe I could have been wrong. Maybe it was 404.
460 for Powerball last night.
Yeah. Oh, Powerball was last night. I played Mega Millions last night.
with Matt's birthday.
Yeah.
Mega Millions is Friday.
No wonder I didn't win.
Is that the one where the guy has the crazy big head, the Mega Millions? Is
I
that
don't know.
one?
I just said, give me a ticket.
All right.
Well, there's still hope for you if you played Matt's numbers.
Yeah, except I threw it away.
Yeah, there's still
because
hope
I
for
hadn't
you.
won. I didn't win last night.
I'm so confused.
Oh, what a bummer. If
Yeah.
somewhere in a trash can you just won $500 million.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is making big news. A charter fishing team landed a massive blue marlin that broke the country's size record.
How big was it?
One.
No, she has to say.
Oh.
No, you're
How
right
big
for
was
that.
it?
It was so big.
How big was it?
1,089 pounds.
Wow.
That's a lot of fish.
Eddie Lawler of Peak Sport Fishing
He
Adventures.
was my favorite wrestler.
He went out on a 36-foot boat.
Yeah.
And they went fishing. And they hauled back a 1,089-pound blue marlin. His ship is called, or boat is called the Black Marlin. But they hauled in a blue marlin.
Is there such a thing?
A black
black
marlin?
marlin?
Yeah. Is that I bet it is.
Yeah, but I bet it's super rare.
And I'll bet it's just got a tip or something of the sail.
Yeah.
Well, the previous record was a blue marlin weighing 996 pounds.
So he kicked the record's ass.
Yeah, a woman hauled that one in Australia in 1999. So this one much bigger. And as you can imagine, it took them an awful long time. They're going to determine how old it is by removing its ear bone, which contains growth rings similar to those found on trees.
Wow, I didn't even know fish had ear bones.
No.
Nope, no idea.
Because it's so difficult for them to go, when they don't have hands.
A lot of us, when we're getting ready to go out to eat or choosing a restaurant to try, we go to the reviews. We go to Yelp.
Yeah, sure.
Some people go to TripAdvisor. You go find reviews that will tell you about some of the best restaurants.
Amy says to go to Yelp because all the photographs of the food are from customers, not the restaurant.
That's usually true.
Yeah.
And, sometimes if you're going to a city that you've never been to, or if it's a smaller city that doesn't have a big Yelp population, you'll go to TripAdvisor. But we trust the online reviews. People take it very seriously.
Yeah, they do.
In fact, in Hartford, Connecticut, they took it so seriously, one man was so angry about a bad Yelp review, he went to the restaurant with a gun and fatally shot someone.
Wait.
That's inappropriate, Derek.
Yeah.
I feel it's the most appropriate, to be honest with you.
It depends on what side of the gun you're on, but all right. So the guy that shot the guy is the guy that got the bad Yelp report?
It's a little bit confusing, but
I think it was a manager of the restaurant.
the guy at
shot
the
somebody.
restaurant was having an ongoing altercation with the person who gave bad reviews, back and forth, fighting about a fried chicken restaurant and its bad reviews. The bad reviewer and his girlfriend went in and popped him.
Oh, that's exactly the opposite of what I thought happened.
Yeah.
Well, you would have thought it was the cook shooting the bad reviewer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well he should. I mean,
No,
protect the
no, you didn't
reputation
mean
of
that.
his protect the reputation of his restaurant.
Yeah, you are not saying that you should go shoot anybody.
No. You shouldn't. Nobody should shoot anybody.
Right. Paul.
Yeah, ongoing battle between the
Dang.
two and a negative review. People take that stuff really seriously. There have been lawsuits about bad Yelp reviews.
Yeah, you can sue as a business. You can sue the person that gave you a bad review if you can prove they're either not a real customer or that they've used their friends to give you a bad review. All sorts of stuff you can get in trouble for now.
But don't shoot anybody.
Don't shoot anybody.
Damn.
Well-
Exactly. I've never shot anybody.
But you've been shot.
I haven't shot.
2018 is only 4 days old, but there is already a contender for one of the most unusual stories of the year. Chipotle has officially recognized an Ohio man for setting the record for the most consecutive days eating at Chipotle. 426 days in a row. At least one meal per day was eaten at his local
He didn't
Chipotle.
take any off for the salmonella poisoning? He just
Nope.
went the whole time?
The entire time, 426 days. I don't even know if that salmonella poisoning was this year. It
It wasn't this year.
Right.
This year's 4 days old.
No,
yeah,
I mean,
but I don't think it was 2017 either.
I don't think it was 2017. So he went in 426 days ago and then went every single day subsequently.
And did he stop? Is that why we're talking about it?
He's now stopped.
What makes you stop eating Chipotle after 426 days?
Heart attack?
Yeah.
Craving for pizza. They said in order to commemorate the historic feat, Chipotle presented Mr. Wayne with custom-made Chipotle superhero cape and cufflinks, a nod to his love of both Batman and burritos.
This guy has so many issues.
Yeah.
Did you say his name's Mr. Wing?
Yep, Wayne.
Oh, that's totally
Like
different.
Bruce Wayne.
Is his name Bruce Wayne?
His name is Bruce Wayne.
Really?
It is?
You think I'm making this up?
No,
Yeah,
Look
the
it
whole
up.
story. I think you're making the whole story up.
Okay, Donald.
Fake news.
Fake news.
They said they will also reinvest the dollars that Bruce Wayne spent over the course of setting his record. They will donate it to the nonprofit of his choice.
How about they donate it right back to Bruce Wing?
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Wayne.
Same thing.
He gets free burritos for life, right?
I don't believe he gets free burritos from
Why are they going to take the money he spent in 400 days and give it to somebody else? Why not give it back to him?
It's charity because that's probably what you're supposed to do to be a good person.
No.
Because they want the good PR that comes along with it.
That too.
Along with announcing that
It's
they're giving
under
that money.
$1,000 and you're Chipotle. How about you give him his money back, he eats free, and you donate to charity, and everybody loves everybody.
Well, people are talking about it. We're not necessarily saying nice things about
Right,
Chipotle.
exactly.
But I bet other people are.
I bet my wife could eat there for a year every day.
Yeah, I could. Oh, burrito's a pretty darn good thing.
Every day for a year.
Yeah, sure. Give me a burrito.
And there's so much any other things besides a burrito.
Yeah.
A Louisiana police department is issuing a warning of the winter conditions by issuing an arrest warrant for Elsa from Frozen.
Oh,
So,
isn't that stupid?
These guys have nothing better to do than this kind of
Right.
stupidness.
It's an emergency situation unlike they've ever seen before, and they're taking their time to do this.
The Slidell Police Department in Louisiana posted to Facebook an arrest warrant. As you can see by the weather, she is a very dangerous girl. Approach with caution. There is a $100 million reward for Elsa, dead or alive.
That's
They're
embarrassing.
encouraging people to kill a Disney princess?
Well, when you put it that way.
Well, I think almost all parents thought about it every now and again. I should have just killed that Disney princess.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break and come back with music, news, entertainment, and sports. Some of the big stories, an update to the future of Pearl Jam. One of Danny's favorite pop stars, he has announced a big tour with a Seattle date.
Tebow!
No.
And some big changes are in store for the Seahawks. We'll talk about that next in sports.
This traffic report is brought to you by Stand Up to Cancer. That earlier accident on I-5 near the West Seattle Bridge has been cleared, but you are still seeing some stop-and-go traffic in both directions as you make your way right around the West Seattle Bridge due to the earlier accident, and people still kind of stopping to look and see what's going on there. Also in Bellevue on I-90 westbound, seeing some slow delays there also. Stand Up to Cancer is a groundbreaking initiative created to accelerate innovative cancer research that will get new therapies to patients quickly and save lives now. Visit standuptocancer.org. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Starting with some music news, Pearl Jam bassist Jeff Ament has shared an update on the progress of the band's long-awaited 11th studio album. Jeff says, "We've sort of been in writing mode here in Seattle the last couple of months. A typical day is getting together with anywhere from 1 to 4 of the other guys and making music." Then he was asked, well, when are we going to hear this new music from Pearl Jam? He says, "Not sure yet." Now it'd be nice to hear something new from them because it has been 5 years since we've gotten a new album.
Wow.
4 to 5 years since we got Lightning Bolt from Pearl Jam. Now they do have a bit of touring planned, dates in South America and Europe this year, but hopefully they'll take a break from that to put out the
I don't know.
album.
When you talk about the band, we've been in writing mode for the last couple of months. If I were a band, I'm guessing, you're never, like if you're an artist of any kind, I'm never out of writing mode. Oh man, did you see that thing happen just there with the purple moon and whatever? That's when you write a song, like always. That's what I would have thought.
A lot of it's collaborative, though. So if Stone Gossard's writing the lyrics and Jeff is writing bass line or guitar riffs, the song can't get written without the other person's input. And then Eddie's going to say, "No, I think that the chorus would sound better if I did it like this." So it's not one person writing it from
Right,
A to
but
Z.
that's also a little bit more arrangement than writing a song.
And wouldn't you normally do that kind of right before and as you're doing the
Doing an
recording?
album. Yeah. I don't like this process. That's all I'm saying.
I think it's just an excuse for why you're not recording.
Right,
now.
exactly. Why it takes you to put a long time to put out an album called Lightning. That should happen quickly.
Yeah.
What's new, Pussycat?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, Tom Jones will tell you what's new.
Tell me he's actually going to tour.
Yep.
Oh, my God. I thought he just couldn't. He's 112, right?
He's been in writing mode, actually.
That's what I heard.
Tom Jones is
The greatest entertainer who ever lived.
Yeah. Besides Danny Bonaducci.
That's true, but I'll bet the Welchman, has a Hollywood Star Walk of Fame.
Ooh.
Is that even allowed? We get
Yeah,
the
I
furnace?
thought if you weren't a citizen, you couldn't have one. Apparently, you can.
Not Canadians, though, right?
No, they get one, and then they
my
get one of their
gosh.
own.
That's not fair.
Everything about that stuff is not fair, man.
Can you get a star on the Canadian Walk of
Yeah,
Fame?
technically I can.
Okay. Do you think you will?
No, I don't. You know what? I actually might get one if my retirement plans go the way I think they're going to go.
Yeah.
There's a Walk of Fame in Palm Springs, California, in the middle of the desert.
Oh.
Like, how much could you have to do? So I retire at 67, 68 years old, move there, do a couple nice things, pet a cat or whatever, and they'll give me a star, I figure.
But you have to be a resident and pet a cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom Jones's star is located on the south side of the 6600 block of Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, he does have one.
Yeah, I don't mind, Ty. You can have anything you want.
Because you love him.
I do love him.
Sir Tom Jones is 77 years old, and he is indeed going out on a North American tour.
Bitchin'.
The trek gets underway May 1st in New York. It wraps up on June 2nd in Vancouver, Canada. And he'll be playing the Paramount Theater.
No, he's on the Paramount?
The Paramount Theater.
I would have thought for sure Century Lakefield.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you would be very wrong.
Apparently I would. If there was one time in life I'd be right, for sure.
Yeah, one time in life.
That part in the year where we outsold the Beatles.
Yeah.
And got surd.
Yeah, but not now.
That was like 40 years ago.
I mean, we did have your birthday party at Safeco
See?
Field, so
Wait.
why not?
Is your point that anyone can do it?
My point is you're a huge star.
Ah, nicely recovered.
So June 1st, you'll be able to see Tom Jones at the Paramount Theater.
Like, our love for Tom Jones has never wavered, never will, but I can see the fans dwindling, the fan base dwindling now.
Well, they're going to be busy dying.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he's 77.
I didn't want to say it.
He is 77, but I'm sure you'll be there.
I will be. I'll definitely
it's a
be
Friday.
there.
It's a Friday night. That's
I know what that
fantastic.
means. Means we're going to see Tom Jones.
I've interviewed him like half a dozen times.
Really?
And, yeah,
Is that a hint?
and he's great. Oh, yeah, you want to have him on, but we can't talk about the monkeys.
Hey, don't forget that all month long, 16 times a day, you have a chance to win some big money with our Money for Nothing giveaway on KZOK. Just listen for the new keyword each hour and text it to 200-200 for your chance to win instantly. $1,000 of Money for Nothing every hour on KZOK. If you want some more info, go to KZOK.com, click on the contest tab. But it's happening soon, right?
Yeah, very soon, like 9:10 probably.
Excellent.
So like in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We're good at telling the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
It's 5 minutes after 9, 55 minutes before 10. That's the way
Those things are both
disc jockeys
true.
do it.
iHeartRadio has partnered with Fox Television for a brand new singing competition called The Four Battle for Stardom. And
It looks bitchin'.
Oh, it looks really good.
It premieres tonight at 8 on Q13. After a global search, the final four have been chosen. They're ready to take on the challengers and sing to keep their seat. So it's all tonight at Q13 Fox. Now, Paul, you said this is different than the other ones because we're not.
Yeah.
But we're not seeing the audition process. They've already picked the best.
I'm sure.
I didn't get. I was watching the commercials, and Sean Puffy Combs says, "Do you think you're ready for one of those 4 seats?" And then they show 4 seats with people in them.
Right. So I think in the premiere episode we'll probably see some of the audition process.
Cool.
But they pick the 4. What they choose is their 4 finalists to start the show, and then those 4 battle newcomers each week to try and keep their seat.
Oh, I get it now.
The
Okay,
new people
cool.
come on to try and dethrone them.
Hey,
Gotcha.
did you think you have a chance of going up against me?
Do I have a chance to go
Yeah.
up against you? No, I'll beat you.
Challenge!
Challenge!
Talk me out of my challenge moment, bastard.
Yeah. Do we have to tap dance now? Is that?
I don't. I'm
forget.
not
It's a vaudeville
positive.
thing, right?
I'm not positive that that's what it is. That's where I have seen it. It might be done all over the entertainment world.
Can I like spray you with seltzer and put a pie in your face? Does that count too?
Yeah, but then you giggle. Challenge! Like that.
All right.
Y'all done?
Nope, probably not.
What were we talking about?
No idea.
Oh, the 4.
Tonight, Q13.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
Netflix is staying in business with Ricky Gervais. The internet TV network has bought the rights to Ricky Gervais's next stand-up show. Netflix previously bought his stand-up show called Humanity, which is due in the first quarter, and they said things have been going so well, Ricky Gervais getting another comedy special.
You know, I go back and forth on that guy, which he appreciates. But, you know, he's really funny and does good movies. And then he just goes on these crazy, because he's an atheist, but like super mean about it and says, you know, makes Lord and Savior jokes, like really mean ones. So, hey, if you happen to have any faith in anything, you probably are offended in some way.
I'm going to guess if this is his second comedy special, he will have new material and may not be religion-based.
He has no new material. He's a hack. I don't know how that turned.
You really do go back and forth on him.
I told you.
Sony Pictures plans to release a new movie this spring that is already controversial. The movie is Slender Man. Now,
That is controversial.
You might remember that this is a horror character that inspired 2 Wisconsin girls to nearly kill their classmate. This movie is set
They were
for
like 12, right?
Yeah.
This movie is set for May 18th. We don't know yet if it's going to be just the Slender Man story or if this terrible story will be about the girls who tried to kill their classmates. Now, they were all 12 at the time, and 2 of them tried to kill the 3rd girl to prove to Slender Man that they were worthy of being his servants.
How does your 12-year-old get that messed up?
Yeah.
Well, one of those girls is now 15. She pleaded guilty to attempted first-degree homicide, and she is in a mental hospital. Another one is 16 now. She was sentenced to 25 years in a mental institute. She was charged with attempted second-degree intentional homicide.
Wow. But the little girl wasn't dead. If that was a quiz show question, I'd have lost. I thought they killed her.
They stabbed her 19 times.
Tough kid.
Yeah. The show won't go on for ABC's upcoming special on the legacy of Rolling Stone. They were supposed to be airing Rolling Stone 50, a 3-hour live broadcast meant to celebrate the storied music magazine. It was going to happen on February 7th. Never before seen music pairings, short films, live performances. It was supposed to be a big deal. Canceled. Why?
Why, I ask?
We don't know.
Oh.
They have not told us.
We said it was going to happen. There it was. KZOK.com to
Bam!
find all the info and details on what time you can listen and how to win.
Well, speaking of money, The Price is Right upped the ante yesterday in celebration of Plinko's 35th anniversary, and it paid off. for one very lucky contestant. Now, for those of us who watch The Price is Right, Plinko is the game everybody wants to play. Well, they, because of this anniversary, they changed the dollar amounts that are on the bottom. So if your Plinko chip lands on those slots, that's the amount of money you win. They upped all of those. So instead of $350, it was going to be $3,500, $35,000.
Wow.
So the most you could win was much higher than normal. So a kid went up there and he broke the record and earned $39,200 playing Plinko. The previous record was late last year, $31,500.
I got to tell you, after that whole big buildup, I was a little disappointed. It's a national game show that's been on forever. Shouldn't have been. And then they broke the record, which was $450,000.
Yeah, and he broke the record by like a couple $1,000.
Broke the record. It was $8.
Yeah.
I mean, over $39,000 for dropping 5 discs down a random board.
That's great, but somebody else got 31 grand for it, or whatever you said.
Yeah, and that was a huge record at the time. That broke the record by leaps and bounds.
Have you guys seen the commercials for Ellen DeGeneres' Wild Game Show, whatever it's called?
No, not yet.
I have not either.
It looks a little brutal, to be honest with you.
She says it is. She says it's pretty cutthroat.
People scream and beg her not to do whatever she's going to do, and then they fall through holes in or they're strapped to elastic bands, kind of like Thunderdome, and they push the wrong answer and they shoot out of their chair and up over the audience. And there's like 100 versions of that.
Yeah,
that sounds like my kind of show.
The least of which, this girl answered wrong, and she just got a face full of some kind of red, brown, horrible goo. And the girl just goes, her eyes are closed. She goes, "What is that?" And Ellen DeGeneres, the nicest girl in the world, goes, "I made it." And everybody goes, "What the hell does that even mean?"
Yeah, so that show, I think, debuted right before Christmas, and I was out of town. I was out of the country.
Ellen's is already on?
Game of Games is already on.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah,
Looked
so
funny.
The first one debuted right before Christmas, and I think the second one might have been last night or 2 nights ago, and I haven't seen it yet. I tend not to like the mean-spirited ones.
See, I don't think necessarily it's that mean-spirited because these girls aren't, they're contestants, the only ones I've seen are girls. These people aren't surprised that this happens to them.
I don't want to get powdered to the face.
Then don't go to the show. It's 100% you're going to get powdered to the face.
It's got to be fun. It
looks
Alan.
really fun.
Yeah, it's Alan.
And everybody complains until they take it to the face the first time.
Right.
But then eventually you get used to it.
Do they wear goggles on the show? Like, are they in like protective gear?
Yes.
Let's take a look at sports. Sports. Brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. The Seattle Seahawks did something, well, some people say was expected, but maybe not so soon. They have signed former Jacksonville kicker Jason Myers. He signed a reserve futures contract with the Seahawks. He was cut by Jacksonville, and it appears very unlikely that Blair Walsh will be back after he missed 8 field goals this season, including, of course, that one that did not help us make it to the postseason.
Pete Carroll, I think, did everything he could. You know, it was when he missed a couple ones a few games ago.
Yeah.
Well, you got to fire him now. And he said, nope, he's still my guy. All right, he knows something we don't. The guy got rattled, his mom's sick, whatever. But then, I'm sorry, last week, you're fired.
Yeah.
They should have sent him home in his uniform. Just get out right now. You don't pack anything.
It's time to look ahead to the Seahawks 2018 season. The full schedule will not be released until later this spring, but we do know who the Seahawks will play next season. At home, the Rams, Cardinals, San Francisco 49ers, the Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, Kansas City Chiefs, LA Chargers, and the Dallas Cowboys. The away games, Rams, Cardinals, 49ers, the Bears, Detroit, the Broncos, Raiders, and the Carolina Panthers.
All right.
So that's who we're playing. We don't know the times yet.
Full dance card.
Indeed. There's been a lot of to-do about NFL ratings. Some people saying that all of the national anthem protests made a big hit, took a big chunk of viewership away from the NFL.
I find it hard to believe, but I've heard it.
Donald Trump's saying that.
Yeah.
Donald Trump does say it. But now
he calls it fake views.
Now the analysis is in, and the experts behind Forbes, Ad Age, and other ways of looking at who's viewing televisions and the programs said it's not necessarily true. Overall TV ratings are down because of cord cutters.
Right, yeah.
However, 37 of the top 50 broadcasts, about 74%, the most watched events, football games. So 74% of the most viewed programs were football. So is it down? Only insofar as all of TV viewership is down.
I don't trust cord cutters.
Yeah, and it really means just that the measurements are less trustworthy because now they have this old way of measuring. They don't know as well who's watching on their phones, who's watching online, who's watching online through sources that aren't necessarily legal or legitimate.
I tried to watch on my phone because I was on one time and I was on the treadmill. You cannot keep track of who's who on a telephone on a treadmill.
But it is time for a bit of an overhaul because it takes them a long time to figure out who's streaming. Are you watching on Facebook? Are you watching on Yahoo? You've got so many different ways of doing it now thanks to those pesky cord cutters. Tori.
Is she a cord cutter?
No, she doesn't watch TV.
I'm against her.
President Donald Trump will
I don't think that's allowed.
President Donald Trump will reportedly be in attendance at Mercedes-Benz Stadium Monday for the college football playoff championship game. Playoffs? Between Georgia and Alabama. According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Donald Trump and First Lady Melania are expected to be at the game and will be hosted by Nick Ayers, who is Vice President Mike Pence's chief of staff. If he attends the Georgia-Alabama game, this will be his second appearance at a major college football game in the past month because he was at Baltimore's stadium to watch Army-Navy back on December 10th. Huge game.
Usually I watched it.
No, this one that's happening on Monday is a huge game. Those tickets.
He watched it.
Well, no, serious business. What did I just see then? Did I see?
You watched the Rose Bowl?
Yeah,
2 nights
there were a
ago?
lot of big bowl
Okay.
games already.
Mm-hmm. But this is it. This is their Super Bowl.
All right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes because it's a big deal. The Harlem Globetrotters set a world record by making nearly 350 half-court shots in an hour while appearing on live television. 6 members of the basketball team set the Guinness World Record for the most basketball half-court shots made in 1 hour with 348 made baskets.
No way. That's crazy.
Yeah. This was all done live on Good Morning America. And they just went over and over and over and over and just kept throwing them. And they set the world record.
What was the old record?
342.
But if there was no old record, they just set it.
Those guys are awesome. Just
Those
such
guys
a fun show.
are awesome.
They're coming back to town next month, February, Key Arena.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a good time. You like it to go with the kid, right?
Yeah, it's fun.
Jelly being a basketball fan or just likes the...
No, it's more like because they put on a more entertaining show. So I don't think she would sit through a whole traditional basketball game, but she has fun watching them.
What is their opponent's name?
The Generals.
Washington Generals or just the Generals?
The Washington Generals.
Do you know they won once?
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. Just on accident?
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
You guys know where I was on vacation last month, right?
Panama.
Where?
Oh.
I thought I did it.
So that's what you thought it was? Do it again.
Well, I thought I would get it. What is happening around here? I thought I would get to be compliant, yet not be as annoying as a guy going like this. Where'd you go on vacation? Panama.
No, that was it right there. That's where she went.
That place.
I saw the
That's
picture.
right to the left of Panama.
I did go to Panama and I posted a brand new beer blog this morning at KZOK.com highlighting some of the great beers that I tried while on vacation. Very, very cool pictures, cool spot. And thanks to 210 Brewing Company at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort, who have stayed with us and are the proud sponsors of my beer blog. Great beer up there at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort. You know who's a big fan of beer?
I do, and also whiskey and sedatives.
And that's just for breakfast.
That's what he's got. It's in his locker. That'd be our friend Steve Slayton, who's going to walk right in this door any second now. He's going to play some classic rock for you just for your enjoyment, because that's what he does. We'll get out of his way. Bye.